Yes, I am black business. I am black business. Tell me, are you black business? I am black business. Do you support black businesses? Listen, I support black business because I am black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am black business.
I am black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am black business. I am black business. Are you black business? I am black business. Do you support black businesses? I support black business because I am black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina.
Join Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am black business. I am black business. Tell me, are you black business? I am black business. Do you support black businesses? Listen, I support black business because I am black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of black business in the world.
I'd like you to imagine with me, if you will, opening an app where you can collaborate with like-minded individuals from around the world, get inspiration and in-app tools to launch and grow your business, as well as share your knowledge and earn compensation, all in one app. Well, the name of that app is Truso, short for Truly Social. Hi, I'm Matthew Newman, the founder and CEO of Truso. A new concept in social media, Truso is designed from the ground up to be a platform that's both social and empowering for all its users. How exactly do we do that? I'm glad you asked. First, Truso brings the world together via video. Psychologists assert that video provides a significantly more effective connection than audio only. When you enter a community on Truso, you're face-to-face. Second, on Truso, you don't have to have 1 million followers to monetize. Our business model allows all hosts and moderators to monetize, no matter the size of your following, by 1, producing fee-based content, and 2, inviting others to join the platform as subscribers. Even more, Truso has an in-app resource library with over 100 free resources, forms, and documents to help you build your brand and grow your business. Third, Truso is inclusive. The deaf and hard of hearing communities make up 360 million people worldwide. Unlike audio-only apps, Truso embraces this community, providing a networking platform that allows them to participate via video and closed captioning. We even have a deaf and hard of hearing foundation in the works as well. Fourth, Trousseau is both social and safe. We refer to Trousseau as a virtual extension of the beauty shop, barbershop, and brainchild of the community. A place where there's laughter, along with wisdom, growth-oriented conversation, and genuine connections in a safe space. Trousseau even has proprietary security to ensure we maintain a safe environment for everyone. Where are we at now? Trousseau is live, y'all. We've launched in beta and we're acquiring users daily. We have an incredible development and marketing team, plus amazing celebrity influencers at the table, helping us spread the word around the globe, beginning within the African diaspora and beyond by creating a safe space for growth, connection, and collaboration. We're truly excited about Trousseau. We've created something special for which there is a global market. And we invite you to embark on this journey with us as a shareholder. The future for Trousseau is truly bright. Join us and let's go there together.
This is Dr. Arnold T. Petsworth. He's the owner of Petsworth Vet World. Business was steady, but then an influx of new four-legged friends changed everything. Dr. Petsworth welcomed these new patients. The only problem, more appointments, meant he needed more space. That's when Dr. Petsworth turned to his American Express business card, which offers flexible spending limits that adapt with his business. He used his card to furnish a new exam room, and everyone was happy. Built for Dr. Petsworth's business, built for your business, Amex Business.
The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K-12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. Please, you may go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund or use the Cash App at $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts. Please donate to the Black Business Expo USA Scholarship Fund.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support, where health education is abundant, where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
Did you know women represent just 3% of Fortune 500 CEOs and less than 15% of corporate executives at top companies worldwide? Have you wondered what the secrets are to getting into the top ranks, whether in the private or public sector? Do you want to figure out how to stop being held back in your career or passed over for promotion? Then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. I have decades of experience in the military, the federal government, and corporate America, and my mission is to help women succeed and tap into their full potential. I want to reach 1 million plus women around the world to become the leaders they are meant to be. So if you want to move into a management or executive level position, or maybe you are a female veteran transitioning out of the military into business entrepreneurship, then reach out to the Executive Women's Success Institute at 301-693-3284. Let us get you on the fast track to success.
I was born in a little village on the island of Haiti. Many deadly diseases pounded me. It is as if they were on a mission to end my existence on this earth. I refused to give up. In 1983, I left Haiti and came to the United States of America. And I came with $5, 2 shirts. I didn't speak in English. I came to Atlanta. I got a job. I was a doorman. I was a doorman with a dream. What I used to come on stage. I'd rehearse this moment that I'm standing in front of you. That's the power of a dream. Maybe today is the day you begin acting as if you already have it. And then step out with full force. Take a risk. No condition is permanent. Don't let your situation distract you. You are chosen. You are called. You are born for a purpose in this life.
Did you know women represent just 3% of Fortune 500 CEOs and less than 15% of corporate executives at top companies worldwide? Have you wondered what the secrets are to getting into the top ranks, whether in the private or public sector? Do you want to figure out how to stop being held back in your career or passed over for promotion? Then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. I have decades of experience in the military, the federal government, and corporate America, and my mission is to help women succeed and tap into their full potential. I want to reach 1 million plus women around the world to become the leaders they are meant to be. So if you want to move into a management or executive level position, or maybe you are a female veteran transitioning out of the military into business entrepreneurship, then reach out to the Executive Women's Success Institute at 301-693-3284. Let us get you on the fast track to success.
I'm Ramon Ray, founder of Smart Hustle Magazine and smallbiztechnology.com.
You're here today to celebrate small business success. Stand up on your feet. You rocked the house. It was amazing. Didn't we learn? For me, success comes from failure. One thing not to do is shake somebody's hand like this.
Hello, my name is Kiasi Helm and I'm 14 years old. I think my genius would probably have to be setting goals and achieving them. I say this because ever since I was young, I always wanted to be an author, and at age 11, I ended up achieving this. But not only did I end up becoming an author, I ended up becoming a public speaker, a publisher, a business owner, all these great things. The name of my business is Written by Kids Publishing Company. I decided to start this company because I thought it was important for me to help kids my age express themselves through literacy and just achieve their own goals. Because to me, achieving goals is the best thing in the world to feel. It's you just achieving things and aspirations that you set for yourself. And I know that everybody is capable of this because even if you don't end up achieving the goal, you still tried your best, and that's the most important thing. And everybody is capable of this because genius is common. Thank you.
I'm Kennedy Harris. My genius is being an entrepreneur. I'm the CEO of K-Lock, a company where I develop my very own line of kids supplements. I currently market my multivitamin for kids to help combat weak immunity. During the pandemic, research has shown that having a strong immune system is key to fighting off disease. My vitamins are for kids, but adults can benefit from them as well. I'm adding a proprietary blend to my supplement line. I want to create my own blend so that I have a competitive edge in the marketplace. Staying healthy is important to me so that we live longer and have healthier lives. My website is klockproducts.com. That is K-L-O-C-K. Genius is common.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Good afternoon, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Charles Kithcart of African Diaspora Maritime. I'm your business moderator this afternoon on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Today, we have Soraya Woods, and Soraya is a financial guru, and she's going to come in and teach us something. So we're all going to get rich. So stay tuned. Soraya, how in the world, give us your elevator speech. Tell us about yourself.
Hi there. It's actually Soraya. Thank you so much for having me. Indeed. So I am a life insurance agent / financial coach. I am in the process of becoming a financial advisor, and I am very, very intent on helping educate people who look like me on finances and how to build generational wealth. Most of us were not taught these things in school. And so it is my crusade to change that and to start changing the narrative for Black people and the things that we're able to accomplish in our lives.
This is a fabulous, fabulous topic, because we are a spiritual people, but if we don't get our dollars and cents right, we're going to be in more trouble. So as a Black person, what are some of the unique financial challenges or barriers that I may face when it comes to achieving financial security?
Well, I think the biggest challenge / barrier is the one that we have in our own minds, to be honest. It's the one that was passed down to us from generation to generation. It is the thought that we're not capable of creating wealth, or that we're not worthy of creating wealth. And it's an inherent thought process that I believe many of us have. I'll use myself as an example. When I was growing up, I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, and I learned not much at all about money other than how to hustle for it and how to spend it, because I made it, so it was there for me to spend if I wanted to buy something. And that was the extent of my money knowledge. And so I spent my years growing up with that same mindset. So I spent frivolously most of the time, because if I saw something I wanted, I bought it, but with no thought on saving money and making it work for me and making it grow.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Are there specific, well, wait a second. I've got your questions here, but we have to this has to flow.
Yeah.
And what you're saying makes so much sense, because sometimes we don't understand, and we are trying to grasp and get all the things that we think other people have. And that makes us broke. One of the metrics I used was on payday, I said, you got to pay all your bills off, or have a plan to pay those bills in a timely manner, and then take care of all those things. And then at the very last, it was the fun stuff. If I could have fun. If I couldn't have fun, it was just no fun that weekend.
Yeah.
So, but I do see a lot of people so dressed up and fancy going out, and I suspect that they don't have much.
Yeah.
So
Because
you're
we'd
right.
rather look good. We'd rather look good and show off for people who couldn't care less about us, rather than, worry about building wealth for ourselves, for our future, and for our kids and their future.
So it is psychological. And the
It
biggest
is.
psychological thing is that we have to stop trying to impress ourselves, each other, and the greater world with what we look like, and really have some solid, stable finances. And after you've done that for a couple decades, then you can get fancy. But we just saw the movie The Blind Side is getting blown up, and it's in trouble because the Toohey family apparently took advantage of him. Well, that's what he's saying. But that Toohey family just sold their businesses for at least $100 million.
Wow.
Right. So this is big money. All right, now let's look at one of your. So are there specific life insurance policies or financial strategies that are tailored to the needs of Black individuals?
So I wouldn't say that there are any specific ones tailored to the needs. What I will say is that there are specific ones that we should get versus other ones. So one of the things that I hear often in the world of social media is the pushing of whole life policies, IULs, and things like that. I don't want to bash anyone or anything that they produce, but I will say that those are typically not the best policies for what the purpose they're intended to serve.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times they are more beneficial to the salesperson who is selling it rather than the person who is obtaining the policy.
Okay.
And they're typically sold with the idea of building wealth inside of the policy, having a savings account inside of the policy, being able to borrow from it, being your own bank. And these are the buzzwords that are thrown out there, without telling people the trap that they're falling into in having these policies, which often comes at the risk of losing your money because the policy ends up eating itself from the inside out, or you're penalized on these monies that you end up borrowing from, you're taxed on them. And so there are different risks involved with these sorts of policies. So my crusade is a little bit different with the company that I'm with. Our crusade is to buy term and invest the difference. The idea here is to protect yourself while you are still young and building your financial stability and building your family and helping your family to grow, because during that time, a loss of income would be devastating. And simultaneously, you are creating generational wealth by building wealth in a vehicle that is giving you a high rate of return, so that by the time you reach your age of retirement, you can take that money out tax-free and be wealthy and not even necessarily need the insurance policy that you originally had during your younger years. And so that is the whole goal of what it is that we're doing. And that's what the wealthy do. And they continue to perpetuate that process, and they teach their young to do the same thing. They build trusts to protect everything. And we are not typically privy to that information. And so again, that's the crusade I'm on, is just to help disseminate that information to everyone.
Right. This is fabulous information. I learned about trust not too long ago. What would you say is the retirement age these days?
So I love that question. And my favorite answer is retirement is not an age, it's an amount. And that's just the reality of it. So whenever you build yourself up to a status, a financial status of being able to retire comfortably without having to worry about running out of money during that process, or have to worry about returning to work, then retire. Because what I can promise you, had I known all of this stuff when I was in my younger 20s, I would be retired today at 48 years old. But that is not the case. And I am just now learning these things and, starting to make my way. And so I would say, though, to answer your question, typically the age is around 62 and a half to 66 years old. However, with the vehicles that we typically help people to build their income in, they can start withdrawing their money tax-free at age 59 and a half.
Got it. Okay. So how can I ensure that my life insurance coverage adequately protects my loved ones and addresses potential financial disparities that I may face as a Black person?
So two ways. So one, I kind of already mentioned, is the fact that insurance was designed to be an income protection. So while you're building, if something were to happen to one of the breadwinners in the home, the family wouldn't be as financially devastated with a policy in place as they would be if they didn't have the policy in place. So that's one way. The other way is the types of policies that we carry will allow you to utilize money within the policy should you be faced with a life-threatening illness along the way. So let's say you purchased a policy today, and 5 years from now, you developed a life-threatening illness. Well, what we allow you to do versus borrowing from that fund and being penalized and taxed on it and having to pay it back is that we allow you to access up to 70% of the amount of your policy to use for your treatments and things like that to help you get better. Because the reality is, oftentimes people don't survive life-threatening illnesses that they could otherwise survive because they don't have the money to access to be able to afford proper care or the best care that they're able to get. And so that's one of the things that our company stands on, is being able to provide that benefit to our clients.
Fabulous. What are some common misconceptions or myths surrounding life insurance and financial planning, specifically for Black people, that we should be aware of?
So one of the biggest myths out there, and you hear it all the time, is that the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer. And I'm sure I've said it many times. I'm sure you've heard it many times. The reality is the rich just know what to do. They
Sure.
were properly educated, and most of us were not. And so I would say that that's the biggest misconception. Again, that just lies in education. Knowledge is power, and knowledge with execution actually is powerful, more powerful. And so the goal here is just to educate people properly. One of the tools that we use to help educate people is called the Rule of 72. Charles, have you heard of that rule?
I have not.
Exactly. Most of us didn't, but it's as simple as fourth grade math. And all that rule states is that you take your interest rate divided by 72, and that will tell you the approximate amount of years it will take for your money to double.
I love
Simple
it.
as that. Fourth grade math. If those of us who never learned this had learned this in school, more of us would be wealthy today.
This is true. This is true. You know, it's a shame. I mean, I see a little speckle of gray hair in me and a little speckle of gray hair. And the fact is, this is when we should be wise now, but we're learning late because the mechanism and vehicle wasn't set up, just like you mentioned. So we can't get mad, but we have to learn it now and start to make this part of our conversation.
Exactly.
So are there any relevant statistics or data that highlight the importance of life insurance and financial planning for Black individuals?
Not heavy ones, but a couple that I did find, and this was listed by Forbes. I'm going to read it, and it just says that 22% of Blacks value life insurance as a way to pass along generational wealth. Now, that to me is a very low number.
Sure.
22%. I really want to see that number grow. And again, that just comes along with having conversations like this and opening up the platform for people to be able to have this type of dialogue. Another one that I found stated that insurance for Black Americans is on the rise, though. And so according to a 2022 report, Black Americans are the most likely group to own life insurance, and they're at around 56%. So that actually made me really happy. However, it's kind of a double-edged sword because the majority of that number are obtaining those policies that I spoke about earlier that are not really benefiting them.
So they're getting into the game, but they're being directed into the wrong part of the game.
Yeah.
Intentionally.
Yeah.
So we're going to just presuppose we're talking about Black people through this because we're on the Black Business Network.
Yeah.
And what we have to do now is we have to hear it, we have to read it, we have to learn it, and then we know. But if we're just hearing one or two people tell us something, it's wrong.
Yeah.
Right? So what are the effective strategies to build the generational wealth as it comes to life insurance?
Literally as simple as I stated earlier, it's twofold. It is buy your term policy so that your income is protected and that you can not borrow against it. You can take money from it if you need to, should you be faced with any type of illness along the way, and then build your retirement account so that you can create your wealth for the future. There are other types of accounts you should have as well. Of course, you should have an emergency fund that is growing for you as well. You should have a short-term account that is growing for you as well. But then your wealth management account is definitely the most important, and that's the one that's going to take you into wealth. The thing is this, many of us were taught to save money, but we were taught to save it in a bank account. And I am not knocking bank accounts. I have a bank account, right? They're very, very convenient. The problem is that we shouldn't be using it as a savings tool because we are not making any money from it. Our money should be working for us. Okay. And so exactly. So when we put money into an account, millions of dollars are being made off of the money that we put in our accounts, but we're not the ones making that money. The banks are the ones reaping the benefit of the money that we're putting in the account. So Charles, you take $200 and put it in your savings account. Well, the bank that you put it into is going to take your $200 and invest it into the global economy so that they can make millions off of you and give you a rate of return of approximately 0.02%, which is nothing. And so that's what people don't really understand. They think that they're doing good by putting money into a savings account, and maybe they are saving a couple $100s a month. And kudos to them for doing that. That's a great thing. And they're not just frivolously spending it. However, the goal is to create wealth. You're never going to create wealth by sticking it into a bank account, because it's never going to grow for you. It is sitting there collecting dust for you while they're reaping all the benefits from it. So again, part of our crusade is to cut out the middleman and help people to understand how to create that wealth for themselves versus the bank taking the money.
This is brilliant. This is brilliant. Are there any community-based initiatives or programs that offer financial education and resources?
So I haven't found any community initiatives specifically that speak to it in the way that we do. However, I, myself, and my team are doing our best in our community. We're in Las Vegas, Nevada. And so we are doing our best to provide that sort of initiative. So one of the things that I'm personally doing is working with churches, specifically Black churches, to come out and speak to their congregants and talk to them about have this exact same conversation about money and insurance and how they work. I am also working with schools. That is next on my agenda of places to go and have these conversations and teach these students the rule of 72. And so those are the things that I'm currently working on. I try to get out to as many events as I can. One of the other things that we do is senior Medicare. And so I do try to get out and speak with seniors as often as I can so that they can be properly covered and not taken advantage of either.
Amazing. And it's amazing that you're in Las Vegas, because that is sort of the capital of just blow the money. But really the truth is somebody's making a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it sort of seems like it's the opposite, but I can assure you that there's some very frugal people counting money every night.
Yeah, there are.
So list us some alternative forms. So by the way, your answer is that you are the one who's doing the teaching.
I am.
And we're in a.
I'm sorry.
No, we're online. And that means that your reach can be as far as the internet can reach. And here you are. So it's time for us to really take the time. And I always say this to my friends. We've got to miss a couple of these basketball and football games and learn something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So are there alternative forms of financial protection or savings vehicles that may be more beneficial compared to traditional life insurance policies?
So I won't get too heavy into the financial side of it, just because I'm not technically a financial advisor yet. Sure. I am testing soon. But what I will say is that insurance is a very important part of the plan. So definitely you want to have that as well. There are many vehicles that can help you to obtain short-term gain and long-term gain. My favorite is the Roth IRA to create your retirement income, because again, that is like the only vehicle that you can do that and create a tax-free, be able to pull your money out tax-free at age 59 and a half. Now, with that being said, there are money market tools out there and other tools that you can use in the interim to sort, and mutual funds and different things that you can use throughout your journey to create different avenues of wealth for different time frames based on your needs. And everybody's needs are going to be different.
Okay. Now, is there some life insurance hero that we can all look to that did it? Maybe they were just sort of a regular job, but they got the insurance right. Is there some example that's out there?
Huh.
I don't want to put you on the spot.
That's a great
looking at this at home.
As far as it working for them, as far as the insurance working for them.
Yeah. Anything you want to tell us, we're going to listen.
I have a couple of different examples. Hopefully they will answer the question that you're asking. So one of them is one of my team members, actually, him and his wife also do the same business that I'm in, and they obviously have our insurance. Well, the wife ended up getting cancer.
Okay.
And she was able to access that 70% to help her treatment, and it ended up coming back, and she was able to go and get the best care possible. And she is, thank God, a survivor today. So that is one incredible story that I have for the benefit of our life insurance policies. One of the other ones is a little bit more, kind of a little bit more tragic of a story. I don't know if you have heard of Vegas Strong before, with the issue that happened out here on October 1st. I want to say 2017, I think it was, where a bunch of people were murdered at a concert. And our company was the only company to pay out. 4 victims had life insurance through our company, and we were the only one that paid out, because one of the things that people don't realize in the policies that they have is that there are exclusions included in them, one of which is called an active war, active terrorism clause.
Got it.
And they don't tell people about these exclusions. Well, because that was deemed an act of terrorism, the companies didn't pay, because that was a clause, that was an exclusion, basically, that was written into those policies. Whereas our company doesn't have those exclusions. And so people who take advantage of our policies will benefit from the fact that we don't have any exclusions. There's nothing hidden in our policies. The only one is the federally mandated one of suicide, and that is in place in our particular state for 2 years. And so those are the two stories, I guess, feel good stories, but, based in tragedy, but still ultimately a win at the end for the people who had the policies in place that they needed to have, versus ones that weren't doing them any good. And so that's part of it too. People get sucked into these policies with these grandeur promises, and they don't tell them everything, and they don't tell them about the things that they're excluded from. And that is scary. It's scary that people don't know what they're getting into. One of the very first things that these policies that they're selling will say on the page is, read your policy carefully. And they are banking that the person will, one, not read their policy carefully, and two, if they do read their policy, won't understand what they're reading anyway. Because as the sales agent, they don't have to disclose everything themselves, as long as they put that verbiage in there. And so you just got to be careful.
Right. So ultimately, the insurance makes money because people pay into it, and then they say, look, we're banking that these big disasters don't come that we're liable for. And then when something that the normal thing, because everybody's going to die, will pay out. But then by the time you're gone, no big lump sum. But we need to be covered, because if we're not covered, we can deplete our resources or not get the treatments that we need.
Exactly. And the thing is, I know that you've seen like the GoFundMe's. I see them all over social media, the car wash signs, the bake sales, and the things that people do when a loved one dies. And here's the reality of the matter, Charles. Like you just said, the only guarantee in life is that none of us are going to make it out of here alive. Not one of us. And so it's funny to me and sad how we will run out and insure our cars because somebody told us that we have to, right? We will insure our cell phones. We will insure our laptops and our homes. And on the off chance that something happens, we don't insure our cell phones when we purchase it and go outside and chuck it across the parking lot. You know what I mean?
Right.
It may or may not break. Our lives, though, are the one thing that is going to get lost at some point. None of us know when, where, or how. I had a godson that passed away in June, 16 years old, went to sleep and didn't wake up. None of us expected that, Right. And so the thing is, we never know when or how. People leave every day and don't make it back home at the end of the day. And so you don't know. I just passed an accident yesterday where the white sheet was up because somebody didn't make it. And so the thing is, guys, you don't No. And so you have to be protected because your family is going to be in a worse position if something happens to you. And so the reality of the matter is, do you want to leave your family in a better, same, or worse position when you're gone? You don't want your family to have to go begging for money to bury you. Funerals are expensive, extremely expensive. But not only that, with death comes debt, period. You know, it doesn't matter if you're quote unquote debt free. There is always something, and there are always going to be bills that are left behind that your loved one is going to have to take care of or continue to maintain without your income being present any longer. And so we have to be, you know, more diligent and more knowledgeable of these things so that we can create the proper platform so that our families are protected.
Well, this is brilliant. I as I'm listening to this, one of the things that I'm sort of thinking about is that the idea of getting married and partnering in, and that the children will take over and carry forward like a relay race what we've achieved.
Yeah.
And some of us have grown up where it was sort of like, all right, you're 18, goodbye, we'll see you. And it's sort of like other families, they sort of stick close and then they keep building wealth. And I think these lessons we have to relearn, but we were coming from, I don't want to say complete poverty because we did have Black Wall Street in Oklahoma.
Right.
But we've got a mind, it's in the mind, as you mentioned earlier today, that we've got to start to look at this.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What role does the credit history and credit building play in achieving financial security? And how can life insurance policies help in that regard?
So I would say that the two are pretty separate entities. But to speak to the first part of what you were asking, just kind of based on what you just said, if you think about the fact that we are going to be leaving someone behind to carry on the torch, we want to create wealth for them as well. We want to create a proper platform for them as well. We want to give them the knowledge that we have learned so that we can continue to pass it on and they can pass it on. And we want to set them up for success. That's what other cultures do. They set their young up for success. And so credit plays a huge part in that because the reality is whether or not we want to rely on credit, credit is a big part of what makes this world go round. And so we want to be in a secure place with our credit. And so to do that, you know, you have to make the right decisions. And so if you're going to use credit cards, then use them more like a debit card, you know, use it and then turn around and pay it off so that you're not racking up debt. And the thing is, like I spoke about all of those accounts earlier, the emergency account and the short-term account, especially, what happens is a lot of times for these things, our emergency account is for, you know, when the emergent things come up, the car breaks, someone gets sick, something like that. Right. But what happens is we're not expecting these things because it's an emergent situation. And so then we rely on debt to take care of it. Or we go into debt or loan or credit card to take care of it. Same thing with the short-term account. We want to go on vacation or we're having a wedding or the kids' graduation or something like that. And again, even though we knew that was coming, we still didn't properly plan for it and have those accounts set up. And so we end up relying on, again, debt to take care of it. So once we come back from that amazing vacation, we come back to a lump of debt that we have to now figure out how to get out of. And it's just, again, the mindset and the way that we were taught and the way that we think about things. We have to change the narrative and change the way that we think so that we better prepare and properly plan so that we're not stuck having mouths of debt and then leaving that debt left over to our kids and that mindset of debt to our kids as well. But life insurance, like I said, is its own entity. That's its own separate entity. It doesn't really tie into credit. And I don't want anybody to fall into the trap of linking those two things together.
Got it. Well, this is very important. And if we can get our financial house in order, and I think that some of us get scared because we've heard these crazy amounts of money that people make. And I remember when I was just getting into the business world and they said that Jane Pauley was making $7 million a year, I fell out of my chair. But within the realm of what we make, if we make proper decisions, you can squirrel away money and get your insurance in place and get all those things in place. But it can't be that you go out. Someone told me that we own more Mercedes per capita than the community at large, but we have less wealth. So, so we've got to get used to the Ford as opposed to the Mercedes, and sort of say, this is where we are. We can move forward, but we can't just have all the trappings of wealth. And I guess one of the biggest lessons I learned, and it's a fun thing from my parents, they said, if you can't afford to fix that vehicle, don't get that vehicle.
That's exactly correct.
Right.
That's exactly correct. I drive a Honda.
Right. I drive a Ford. So I've seen people with a dent in a Mercedes, and I'm like, you can't have a dent in a Mercedes. This is terrible.
Yeah.
If you have a Mercedes, that means you've got enough to get the dent out.
Yeah, you would think, but they don't. They go into debt just again wanting to, look good for the masses.
Get that together. All right.
Here we are.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, something you said earlier really stuck out as well, as far as, wanting to impress people. And we talked about that a little bit earlier. But if we think about impressing the people that actually matter, our families, our children, the people who actually look up to us and want to model themselves after who we are, that is who we need to be trying to impress. And we do that by making proper decisions, ensuring that they are properly protected, ensuring that we are showing them the proper way to live as adults when it's their turn to become adults, ensuring that they make proper decisions by watching us do it. Not a do what I say kind of thing, but more so a do what I do kind of thing. And if we are modeling the proper behaviors, then they will also adopt those behaviors and learn how to do things properly. That's who we should be trying to impress, not each other. Because honestly, you're not paying my bills, right, Charles? So with that, I don't need to, drive a fancy car or wear Chanel earrings for you, because for what? You're not paying any bills over here. And so for me, I want to impress my kids, my grandkids, the people that are watching me and wanting to model themselves after who I am. I don't want them to go out and model themselves after somebody that they see on social media or somebody that they meet in the streets, because that person looks like they have it all together, whereas their character or the things that they are doing for those things are, less than ideal. And so I would rather show them how to do things the proper way.
Soraya, listen, we could talk all day. We're running out of time. We've run out of time. So give us your contact information real quick.
Absolutely. So I do want to say really quick that I am also looking for agents to continue this crusade all across the country of the United States. You can reach me at my email, which is sorayaspeaks@sorayachristine.com. I'll spell it SOURAYASPEAKS at Soraya, SOURAYA, Christine, CHRISTINE.com. I know it's kind of long. Soraya Speaks at SorayaChristine.com, or just call me, area code 770-733-3399. Again, that is 770-733-3399. I will accept calls or text messages at that number.
Soraya, thank you so much. This is fabulous. Your information is helping to make us a better, more stable community.
Thank you.
And you've proved it again. Genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to look at this and listen to this. We have guest after guest, speaker after speaker that's teaching us and showing us. And you know that the Black Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or for K through 12 entrepreneurs. Now, we just heard how important it is to be in the business world, and here we are with K through 12 entrepreneurs. So if you have the ability to help, I want you to go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com and donate to the scholarship fund. Or you can use the Cash App that's on the screen below and say $BBXUSA. And we're going to change the dynamic of the situation that we've been in financially as a people. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students can register at the same thing, blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts, so we want to remind you to donate to the fund. And we want to thank our Black Business Expo sponsors, NC100, Moody Capital Partners, Suede Soul, Lotus Ritchie Coaching and Training, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, BHS and Associates, Margie McLean Foundation Incorporated, Genius is Common, Earth Essentials, Mulaney Shani Global, Executive Women's Success Institute, The Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, Black Business Expo USA. Genius is Common. I'll see you on the other side.
Hey guys, my name is Caden. I'm the CEO of Caden Teaches, and my genius is teaching kids about financial literacy. Throughout my financial products, such as my financial flashcards, my activity book, and my newest project, my financial bus, which I bought. And on the bus, it has a mock bank where kids will learn how to deposit and withdraw money, a mock grocery store where kids will be able to learn how to have a family budget, and a mock stock exchange where kids will even be able to learn how to invest in stocks. Now, I decided to start teaching kids about financial literacy because I find that most kids graduate high school without even knowing the basics about financial literacy. And I feel if I were to teach kids about financial literacy, that I would be able to help kids tap into their genius. And I actually learned about financial literacy to my dad because I would go to business meetings with him and I would always see that they were talking about financial literacy. And at that point, I didn't understand what financial literacy was. So I took it upon myself to learn about financial literacy and teach it to kids in a way that they could understand. But I want you guys to help me help kids tap into their genius by going to my website, cadenteaches.com, and you can sew into me in my financial bus by going to my GoFundMe link. And remember, if Caden can, you can too, because genius is common.
I was born in a little village on the island of Haiti. Many deadly diseases pounded me. It is as if they were on a mission to end my existence on this earth. I refused to give up. In 1983, I left Haiti and came to the United States of America. And I came with $5, 2 shirts. I didn't speak in English. I came to Atlanta. I got a job. I was a doorman. I was a doorman with a dream. What I used to do, I used to come on stage. I'd rehearse this moment that I'm standing in front of you. That's the power of a dream. Maybe today is the day you begin acting as if you already have it. And then step out with full force. Take a risk. No condition is permanent. Don't let your situation distract you. You are chosen. You are called. You are born for a purpose in this life.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina.
Join Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am black business. I am black business. Tell me, are you black business? I am black business. Do you support black businesses? Listen, I support black business because I am black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of black business in the world.
I am from Washington, D.C., but I was raised in Durham, North Carolina. I came to Durham when I was about 5 or 6, and then I traveled back and forth to D.C. because it's where my people are from. One of the unique things about my family is my mother, she's also an artist. She does quilting, and she does a lot of artistic things. And then my son, he draws with both hands, his right hand and his left hand like I do. So that's kind of a family trait. And then my other son, he's a videographer, and my daughter, she works, she's a regional vice president for Sunglasses. When you start out drawing and sketching, you want to continue to explore, you know, each avenue. I do pastels, I do pen and ink, I do painting, I do acrylics. I haven't done oils yet, but I try to do all facets of art. What I say to a lot of times to people is, you know, you can't put yourself in a box when you're an artist. You have to explore. And over the course of my life, I've tried to explore different mediums. I also do sculpture as well. I choose my subjects by the intensity that they have in their faces, or the intensity that somebody is moving, because I do more than portrait drawings. I also do I do abstract, and then I do figurative drawing also. Well, what happened in this particular show is that I started out trying to come up with something that would be a little bit different than what everybody else is doing. So I was working on a Barack Obama show, and they wanted me to do some paintings of Barack. And so what I did was, because of the deadlines, I kind of did it kind of fast. And then I realized when I was doing it fast, I enjoyed it. And so then I started doing other pieces the same way, and I started to enjoy those pieces also. And so I came up with this particular style, and it's a style of lines and colors. And what's interesting is that when I was in college, I did a show called Lines, Colors, and I talked about the boldness of the blacks, the hotness of the whites, and this is how this has come about, you know, later on in my life. And the colors comes from a lot of the entertainers that I work with, where they wear different colors. They don't wear, you know, your plain reds or your whites. They wear different colors, and so that's also another piece of what's giving me the colors. The subtitle of this show is Faces That Speak Life. That's real critical. Faces that speak life. Each one of these pieces is a life source and a life energy that's being put on display for people that are looking at it. You know, I always say in terms of my art, it's not important that I draw them. It's important what you get out of what I draw. You know, I don't try to just draw it because you like it. People wanted me to do prints. I didn't do prints. You know, people asked me to do different people, but the people that I choose are people that make a difference in the lives of people in the world. So the human landscape idea was, again, as I said, the lines represent your emotions, it represents your ideas, and it represents your journey as a human being. And that's why you get the different pieces and the different looks. And as you notice, I try not to do one look that looks alike another look. And that's what's the most important part of this show.
You are in the right place at the right time. The Black Business Network opens again for its Black Business Olympics, a 24/7 broadcast on business, strategies, global branding, social media marketing, finance, advertisement, and much, much more. Featuring the top, most powerful entrepreneurs and speakers and thought leaders from all around the world as they gather together for this phenomenal event. Join the Black Business Network streaming live into the metaverse. STEM City, USA, Black Multiverse, Pod TV, Roku, Hulu, iHeartRadio, Apple TV, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Google Podcasts, Facebook, LinkedIn, IBM TV, Spotify, and Twitch. Tune in today and be a part of this amazing movement. The Black Business Olympics welcomes you. Prepare for what's coming and dominate in economic winter. Stand strong and thrive by showcasing your great products and services globally through the Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics. The Black Business Network has showcased over 2,000 companies with over $7 billion in sales each year. Over 10 million attendees have viewed the rebroadcast each month. Through the Black Business Olympics, unique styles of business training and mentoring are turning students into business owners and entrepreneurial warriors who will dominate in any economy. Gain the ultimate advantage of the Black Business Olympics, 7 days of unbelievable topics and speakers speaking around the globe. Donate your time and experience to provide expertise and scholarships to students worldwide and change the world. Now, more than ever, new insights, tools, strategies, and capabilities are needed. This is your chance for a major presentation to the world. Fill out the form and join the more than 2,000 speakers who have presented to over 200 countries. Join the Black Business Network streaming live into the metaverse, STEM City, Black Multiverse Enterprises, Hulu, Amazon, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Apple, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pod TV, IBM TV, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Sign up today. Spaces are limited, and we will see you there.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support, where health education is abundant, where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City, USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA. a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Good afternoon, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Charles Kithcart of African Diaspora Maritime. I'm your business moderator this afternoon on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Today, we have Miss Erica Jo Robinson, the Jersey girl living in Virginia. She says she's an ordinary woman who's been called to do extraordinary things. And she has been through many struggles, many victories, many challenges that have molded her and made her strong and viable. She gives the analogy about grapes being crushed to become wine. Olives have to be crushed to have the great olive oil that we all love. And her faith has helped her to overcome some health challenges. And it seems that when things were just opening up and getting great, that she came closest to death. She had neoplasm of the appendix, and she's done it all. So Miss Erica Jo Robinson is a best-selling co-author of her story, an anthology of book collection with Carolyn Wilson. She's an aspiring public speaker and point of light. She's been trained and fortified by life lessons and finally feels free to step forward. And so without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Erica Jo Robinson.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
Well, fine. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you so much for asking.
You know, when I read your introduction and whatnot, and you told me about all these struggles and whatnot, and I look at you, you look so fresh and full of energy. I don't think anything's happened to you.
Oh man, it is a double-edged sword, believe me when I tell you. I appreciate your compliment. It is nothing but God. I cannot take any credit for it. You know, when you've been through some things and you come out not even smelling like smoke, you know you've been through the fire. And so I appreciate that. Yes.
Understand. So now you got two things here. You say you're a Jersey girl living in Virginia. So
Yes.
where are you located?
I am in Henrico. Yes.
And for those of us that aren't familiar with that, where is that in the north, south, and east and west of Virginia?
Well, I've never been that kind of girl, but I can tell you I am on the cusp of Richmond.
Understood.
Right on the cusp. Yeah,
Got
right
it.
on the cusp. Yeah.
Got it. And so Jersey was where you're from. So you talked about that a little bit.
Yes.
How did Jersey impact you?
How did Jersey impact me?
Yes.
Man, Jersey gave me the grit that I needed in life. Real talk. Jersey was the foundation for, I believe, everything, everything that I went through. When I was coming up in school, fighting was a rite of passage. It's just what it was. So Jersey has really fortified me and kind of set me off. Jersey and my mom, I'm not even gonna lie, my mom's a tough cookie.
So are we looking at the Mike Tyson of Jersey elementary school?
Man, it's so funny that you even say that, because when I was coming up, I fought so often that I really thought I wanted to be Layla Ali. No lie. I asked my mom, could I please become a boxer? And I wanted to be like Layla Ali. And her answer, of course, was no.
Good. We like that answer. So now, what's the story behind Erica Jo Robinson?
Oh man, when my mother was carrying me, she said she watched the show called All My Children.
Okay.
And there was a character called played by Susan Lucci, Erica Kane. And she said that she was super feminine and she was outspoken and she was a woman who, really asked the right questions and got down to the nitty-gritty of things. And then my middle name comes from my grandmother. Her name is Billy Joe. So that's how my name comes together. Yeah.
Okay. So now you were active in school, but not in the way most people would think. So tell us about your side hustle that almost turned into a dream career.
So when you mentioned the fighting, that's exactly what it was.
Okay.
My friends would come and tell me somewhere in between classes that someone was being bullied. And so I would tell them, okay, you know what the fee is, and they would pay me a quarter, and I would go and fight the bully for the one that was being bullied.
Oh my goodness. This is, wow. This is a heck of a story.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was definitely always for the one who was being bullied. Yeah.
Good. So your mother shot down your first career choice, which was going to be the enforcer.
Yeah.
And so what was your next big dream?
I was enamored by music videos and magazines. And I remember when VH1 first started, and I remember when Yo MTV Raps first started. And I felt like I should have been a music video director, no lie. I love color. I love just the whole process of creating videos. And so shout out to Hype Williams if you're listening. I recognize it. I loved his work. Yeah, so that's what I hoped I would be. I also loved Essence magazine and loved the way they projected people of color, even if that individual was going through maybe a difficult time in life, they always projected them in this beautiful light. And so it was my dream to go work for Essence magazine.
Aha. So this might be hard for us to believe, but you had also a military career.
Yes. I did 8 years in the Navy. I was a corpsman, FMF 8404, which means I did my time with the Marines. I went into the Marines with not that much respect, but you better believe when I left, I had more than enough respect for everybody and anybody. I came out of there just really knowing that anything was possible for me. I went from there to Hawaii, where I was a corpsman at an emergency hospital, an emergency clinic that was called Makalapa on the island of Oahu. Say that 5 times fast, Makalapa. Yeah, so then after that, I became a medical photographer. I was in the OR quite a bit, documented a lot of cases, seen some both good and bad things there that just kind of stayed with you. But yeah, that's pretty much the deal. I'm probably a fairy or a fluke, they call it. I've never been on a ship in my whole 8-year career. Never.
Okay, so this is pretty interesting. So are you saying that because your beginning career of fighting, were you beating people up and then taking their pictures and creating your own business?
No, you know what? I was such a spitfire, man, between Jersey and fighting in school and everything. I was such a spitfire in the military. The funny thing is the medal that I got, which was good conduct, I really questioned should I have gotten that one medal, but yeah, it was something that I felt a calling to do. I was probably sitting with some friends and happened to see a formation go by, and it just really spoke to me. And that's the life that, I really wanted to live. I really wanted to join the military.
Okay. So now you did the military, and thank you for your service. I also served in the Marine Corps about 30 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember seeing you beating anybody up, but I'll have to look back at my notes and see if that was good.
Oh man.
You had an impactful moment with a major magazine publication that changed the image of yourself. Share this experience.
Yes, it is the moment that I fell in love with Essence magazine as a young girl. I was with my mother and my grandmother on my father's side, Maxine Webster, God rest her soul. She was always, her house was always so beautiful and picturesque. And she had a planter full of magazines. And the very first one facing me was an Essence magazine with Iman on the cover. I was so impacted by this. My first thought was, oh my gosh, Black people really are beautiful. And that statement comes from the idea that I'm sorry, my grandson's trying to come here. His grandma talking. But that idea really came from me growing up in predominantly Caucasian schools and always being aware of the fact that I was Black in these schools and that I was judged for my skin color, and 9 times out of 10 negative. So I was surrounded by my family, of course, but no one was really like the high fashion that of Essence magazine. So when I saw that Essence magazine became my Black community, along with Ebony and Hype Hair and Jet, they were my secret place where I learned so much about femininity and strength and power and Blackness. So yes, that was my impactful moment.
I love it. I love it. So what popular TV show influenced your first 2 businesses along with magazines?
Okay, so remember I said that I loved music videos, right? And so I was always watching them. 106 in Park was the blueprint for ITM Live, one of my first businesses, where we went and we would gather artists and give them a platform to perform and to practice. And I really enjoyed 106 Parks. I really just sat down because I had no way to, at that time, I had no way to learn about that business from behind the scenes. All I had was what everybody else was seeing on TV. So what I did was I would just sit down with a pen and paper and just write down every single thing that was happening, from the opening of the show, the number of videos, the way they spoke, what they spoke on. I just really modeled ITM Live after that.
Okay.
Yes.
So what do ITM Live and G1 stand for?
ITM stands for Inside the Music, and G1 stands for God First.
Oh, okay. Okay. How did you find the artists for ITM Live and the contents for the G1 magazine?
Yes. We would find these underground hip hop places, like where people were performing. And we would find these hip hop artists that were Christian artists that were bold enough to perform in a secular venue. And that brought like an incredible swag, because at that time, hip hop wasn't accepted in the church. It was just really frowned upon and really looked down on. But we knew that hip hop was the way to reach the youth. And so that's how we did that. And then we would get that content for the magazine from the shows that we did. So that one magazine reported on ITM Live. They went together.
Okay, that makes sense. What was the story behind ITM, and what did you learn during the first year of business?
I learned to stay the course.
Right.
I learned to listen to the still quiet voice. I learned that no one else could see my vision but me, so be careful in sharing it. And be strong when you're sharing it, because people, when they hear a good idea, they want to adapt your idea to their thought process. I learned that, trouble don't last always, and that if you keep going, something good is going to happen. You just got to keep moving and keep going and keep being creative.
That's absolutely right. So having said that, tell us, we can see it and hear it now, but just delineate, what are your strengths? And then we know you're a superwoman, but tell us some weaknesses, because we don't want to.
No, you're so good. You're so good. My strength became one that was quick on my feet. At the show, sometimes an artist wouldn't show up. So I would go through the crowd and talk to our different artists that I knew, because the artists would come to see artists to perform.
Right.
And so I would just tell them, hey, you got your CD, you on in 5. You know what I mean? Go get your music. You on in 5. I got an open spot. What I found was my weakest was, ironically, public speaking, getting up on that stage, grabbing the microphone and speaking to everybody, because I just didn't like the sound of my voice.
Nobody does. And I think sometimes when we hear our voice, we're like, I can't believe that's me.
That's what I sound like.
But the truth is, we all sound like something, and we hear ourselves in our own head. And the voice projects out, but when we hear it on a recording that comes back, or a lot of times we've never seen a picture from us from behind or at a side angle. Like, who's that? It's like, that's you. So,
right.
So after making it for a full year, you wanted to celebrate your hard work. What did you do, and what was the thought behind the process of that strategy?
After a year of that constant promoting and that constant presence, BET Awards was doing their advertisements because they were about to come on. Sure. And I thought, this is it. ITM Live Awards. And so that's what we did to celebrate that year, because every artist wanted to, give their acceptance speech. And so, that's just definitely how that came about. And once again, I sat down in front of the award show. I believe Beyonce was sashaying around in this little silver mini skirt that she had, and Jay-Z, I think they were performing Crazy in Love. And I just took notes on the whole thing. And that's how that happened. Free school is what it was.
No, I understand. This is, the crowd is listening to this and they're going crazy. So what is that? Was that the biggest moment, or is there another big moment with ITM Live and G1?
I have to say, I didn't recognize this big moment until after it had passed.
Yeah.
But I don't know if anybody knows who the artist Bizzle is, but Bizzle came on. He was one of our artists before he made it big time. And we got to watch him in music videos and doing his thing, and we were just sitting back like, wow, we had this artist on our stage, and that was a huge thing for us. The other thing with G1 magazine, we had the opportunity, God rest her soul, but Frankie, the singer's mom, Keisha Cole, God rest her soul, but we were so close. We were just this close to getting an interview with her. So that's when we kind of realized, like, man, like we really got something here.
Right. Yeah, that was a moment, right?
Yes.
They call it a watershed moment.
Yeah.
So what was your next major business, and how did you start that?
Well, because of our reputation with ITM Live and G1 magazine, my husband at the time, I am now divorced, but my husband at the time played semi-pro ball And so because of our ability to put on a show, we got offered to own a semi-pro international basketball team, and that's what we did, called the Kitsap Admirals. And couldn't have a basketball team without a dance team. So then that came the flight crew, which I danced for 4 years. I danced with them for 4 years. I loved it.
Right. I love it. So more or less, your experiences from the past helped you in the next business you went to. But lay out what really helped you, or is there some key things
that helped me transition from one business to the other? Is what you're asking?
Right.
I would have to say it was definitely, number one, your reputation precedes you. When you're involved in one project, it doesn't matter who's around you. One person, 50 people, 1,000 people, it does not matter. You give your best for the one. You give your best, and then your reputation will precede you because you don't know who's watching and you don't know who's talking. So you always do the right thing. The other thing is that those life experiences, being gritty, all the way back to, me on the playground, being paid to fight bullies, that all played a part in everything that I had done. So it was like digging your bag and see what you got and what you could use to, get on the next thing when the next thing comes around. It's all these life experiences play a part in building you and making you.
I get it. So listen, I'm not that far. I'm in Annapolis. I've got a neighbor. I'm wondering if I could give you a quarter to teach the lesson.
Listen, I don't know if I'm any good anymore, but
oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was me. Me.
So you didn't like to speak and get up there, but then what skill did you have to develop in the new business that you thought you got away with in the last?
And that is public speaking.
Yep.
Public speaking is what I thought I was able to get away from and not have to face. But that basketball team needed promoting, and we needed fundraising, and I needed to go out and really impress the people with a fantastic basketball team to get funding, and that led to going to the city government and applying for a grant for marketing, and we landed that grant, and it was fantastic and awesome that we got money from the city to market. We were recognized in that form and fashion, as a tourist attraction for the city. So I had to speak. I had to get on that microphone. It was inevitable. So what I did was I pretended, like I told Erica to have a seat, and I just pretended to be Oprah at that time.
Okay, no, this is
what I did?
right.
So
right.
That's what I did. I just pretended to be someone I admired.
No, this is really funny because this is, as people are listening to this, they're going to take up some of the things that you are saying and meld it into their own lives. And a lot of times they tell you if you're going to speak in front of people, you imagine them in their underwear or funny, and it takes the pressure off of you. But the truth is, the honor is that people are gathered to hear what you have to say. And so there you have it already. They already are excited about what you're going to say.
Yes. Yep, that's what I had to do. Even dancing, I was scared, but I didn't want to let fear stop me. So on the dance court, I was Beyonce, flipping hair back and forth.
Well,
I had a good time.
Now we know you can dance. So that wasn't an issue. Or can you? Do you have two left feet? Is it?
Well, there's a difference between going to the club and dancing that way, and knowing an 8 count and memorizing moves and playing a character. There is a difference, and I'm not gonna lie and say it didn't take me, an entire summer. I ran into this young cat from Jersey as well. I used to call him Big Jersey, and we would go into this studio, and I would let this 18-year-old teach me these dance moves. Now, we're not gonna say how old I was at the time, but please believe that it was a miracle of God that I was able to do that I was able to do that.
Let me just jump in on your age. In the chat box, they're asking me that you said grandmother, and now they're saying call the police because you can't be a grandmother. Did you take somebody and steal them? So, you know, we don't know what to think now.
Oh gosh, yeah, no, you know, I'm definitely old enough to be a grandmother. My genetics have allowed me to appear, you know, like I can hang with my daughter and I get asked if we're sisters, you know, all the time, you know, all the time, you know, it's joy. That's what I can say it is. Despite the hard times, despite the rough times, it is joy. It is joy in my heart and soul. That's what it is.
It is. This is what I've noticed. If for the African American community, if we take care of ourselves just halfway, we simply don't age as quickly as everybody else. We just look young.
The melanin is a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. Yeah, absolutely. Not to say, you know, of course, you know, I've been looking at magazines since I was, you know, a young girl. So all those beauty treatments in there, I was trying them all.
Yeah, you got to try that oil of Olay at night. You know, use a night cream in the daytime, and you'll be fine.
Right. Absolutely.
We know basketball teams do a lot of traveling. What kind of traveling did you do? Were you going out of the country, or what was going on there?
Absolutely. We had managed to build a relationship with both China and Japan, and we were traveling to those places often. We would bring their AAU teams. We also had an AAU team, so we would bring their teams to Bremerton, Washington, and teach them American ball, and then we would go over to Japan and China, and you know, and learn Euro ball. We took the adult team and got them jobs over there. We had a working relationship. My passport is stamped up. Absolutely.
Okay, so do you speak a little bit of Japanese?
I do not, but I do eat with chopsticks if that makes a difference.
And what cities in Japan were you in?
Oh, you cannot even ask me that right now. Like I can't to be able to pronounce some of these places. I couldn't even. It was such a whirlwind. If we ever get together again, I'll make sure to have those names for you.
Okay, because I spent extensive time in Japan on my own, and I was Osaka, and I speak a little bit of Japanese, and I had a great time there.
Do you? You know, I have to say that Japanese people are some of the most warmest, most wonderful people that I have experienced. The Chinese as well, but the Japanese people are just so beautiful.
Absolutely. Now, I met a lot of Chinese people in Singapore. And, I didn't go to mainland China yet, but I will. But the Chinese have an extraordinary style themselves, but the Japanese are absolutely unique in being extra polite and humble.
Yes, the level of cleanliness in Japan it'll freak you out. Like I didn't even see a piece of paper rolling down the street. Nothing.
No, they're very, very clean.
Very clean.
Okay, so here you are traveling all over the place. You're eating sushi. I think. What did you learn about the basketball life that's different from here in the States? Or is it different?
Yes, great question. In China, the gyms are full of cigarette smoke.
Really?
Yes. We would we would be playing in the gym, and there would be like a haze of like cigarette smoke, like this thick at the top. And everybody just smokes. It's like it's not even a big deal. Like everybody just smokes. And it was really interesting to feel celebrity over there. They would shut down entire towns for us to come through, and armed guards along the city entrance for us to come through. And the children, we would buy candy from the local store and just have like buckets of it. And the children would just run from every direction. And I mean, it seemed like thousands of children were, you were signing shirts and taking pictures. And it's just a really warm and welcoming experience. It'll have you questioning, what are you grateful for? It was just an amazing experience. I don't know. We actually went one year, came back the following year, and one of our players was plastered on the side of a bus as it rode by. We were just like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? So
What years was this going on? What years was this?
oh man, this was probably, let's see, 2016, 2017, 2018. This went on for 11 years. We ran this business. It was right up until 2020, when the pandemic broke out. We actually had tickets for Japan in our hands at the time. And our interpreter was back and forth with us. No, that she was saying, no, it's okay. You can come. And I was looking at the news and I was like, I don't think we should go. And then finally the word came down as she was speaking to us, the school that we were supposed to visit had shut down. So, 2020 on back 10 years, we ran this business, and COVID came and took it like that.
So, right. So the COVID comes and shuts everything down, including the basketball business. And then you come to Virginia.
Yes.
And start a new life after divorce. And we're always sorry to hear about divorce. But it catapults you into writing and public speaking.
Yes. What catapulted me was my diagnosis.
Got it.
I came here after divorce. My mother was here. I stayed with family to get on my feet, me and my children. And I landed a great job, got a new car, an apartment, and was off, doing what I know to do. And probably a year and a half into working, I was diagnosed with stage 4B cancer. And at that time, I was the healthiest I had been. Because of the divorce, my mind needed to change about some things. And so I was listening to quite a few motivational speakers. One of them, I named David Goggins, that I really enjoyed. A lot of people, say he's really harsh, but that's the kind of talk that I needed at that time. And him, and along with a few others, Eric Thomas, just to name a few, talked about this 1% and being up before the sunrise. And so I started getting up at 4:30 a.m. every morning to work out. And I loved it. It was the challenge. It was where I realized and recognized how to cross the bridge from who I was to who I wanted to be.
Sure.
And I could see her. I could see how she dressed. I could see how she talked. I could see the events that she was at and what she did for a living. But I needed to cross from where I was and who I was to that woman. I needed to outlast the thoughts that I had, the planted seed thoughts that I had from my past. I had to outlast them in order to make it to my future self. And around that time, after I had been diagnosed, I think I had my 12 rounds of chemo, lasting 3 days each. I was stage 4B, like I said. And I was the closest to death, and I looked the healthiest I had been since boot camp and being with the Marines. And my aunt connected with some of the ladies from the Her Story 2 anthology, Bev Brooks, and that connected me to Carolyn. And it was a release. It was a beautiful release. It was only a 1,000 word submission. And after I got done, I felt like that wasn't enough, and that I needed to continue writing. And I also felt like I wanted to share my process of how I got over, how I outlasted my old self to walk into the new self.
This is brilliant. And I think that what I'm loving about what you say is that some people think that a blow, a public blow, or something that happens to you defines you and crushes you. But no, you've got to come back every time. So we didn't read all of your introduction, but the analogy of the grapes that get crushed to make the wine, or the wine that the olives that get crushed to make the olive oil, and
Yes.
this molds you into a caring, holistic person, because we have to have these adversities everybody's going to go through.
Yes.
And effectively, we're all going to perish.
Can't get off the planet without it.
You can't get off the planet without. I'm working on something, but I don't know if it's gonna, well, I'll let you know.
Please do.
So we see that this is Carolyn Wilson. She's been impactful with you. You've had great moments with her. You've shared with the other women. And you have 2 projects in the works. So although we're running out of, I want to just say this. We could have just talked all afternoon.
Yeah.
As we close, what 2 projects are you working on now?
I have in the works right now a documentary called The Erica Robinson Story. And also simultaneously with that, I'm writing my next book called Badass.
Oh my gosh. So listen, I'm just going to warn everybody. If you happen to be in this little town by Richmond and you see her, bring out a quarter if you're not happy. She'll knock up for you.
Fees are much higher now. Inflation.
Oh, okay. Cost of living allowance. So maybe 50 cents or 75 cents. Quarter's not going to do it anymore.
Gosh, you are hilarious.
Now listen, you're here. Everybody's listening. Give us a great insight. You've told us a lot, but what's something that you want to leave people with so they can say, that. Now you've done a lot already, but anything else?
I would say my greatest advice would be to trust and know the inner voice. It won't fail you. Practice listening to the inner voice. 100 times over have I said I didn't listen to that inner voice, and I saw the result of me not listening to that inner voice. So that is across the board, whether it's your business, whether it's your family, your job. It does not matter what it is. Practice listening to that inner voice. It will not fail you. It will not fail you. That is God given.
I want to add in on that. I have a lot of times when the quiet little voice will say, hey, go and X, Y, Z, whatever it is.
Yes.
I used to just bully that voice and just tamp it down and go, I'm busy, I'm heading here. And then I started to go back and check and do or make a call or say something to that person, inner voice. And that inner voice is wise, but it's a very gentle voice. And so you have to be clear and really open to hear that voice. So listen, Erica Jo Robinson, listen, it's obvious we could talk to you forever.
I appreciate it.
And nobody believes that you're a grandmother. So we're gonna call the FBI and find out if that's even possible.
It is true.
All right. I know you wouldn't lie to us on Sunday. So look, do you have a website or a way people can contact you or follow you, or what? How do we keep? Where's the fan base going to be able to follow?
Well, on Instagram, it is Miss E.J. Robinson. And also my website will be coming live in just a few short days, and it's also Miss E.J. Robinson. So just look out for that. And you can also email me at missejrobinson@gmail.com.
Miss E.J. Robinson at gmail.com.
Yes.
Well, listen, I really want to thank you. This time has just blown right by, and it's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
And you've inspired us. We've learned. And I will say what Dr. Kelly always says, and we know it's true. First of all, thank you for coming. Genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't enjoy that one, I don't know what to say to you. That was fabulous. We have talented, amazing people that are here to inspire you. And then we ask ourselves, what are we doing with this time? The Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors that are going to college or K through 12 entrepreneurs. You can go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate, or you can use the Cash App that's at the screen below and say $BBXUSA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. And the students can also register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts, so we want to remind you to donate, and let's change people's lives. We also want to thank the sponsors, which are NC100, Moody Capital Partners, Suede Soul, Lotus Ritchie Coaching and Training, Carolina, Virginia Minority Development Council, Step Management, BHS and Associates, Margie McLean Foundation Incorporated, Genius is Common, Earth Essentials, Melanie Shani Global, Executive Women's Success Institute, The Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, and Black Business Expo USA. Genius is common. I'll see you on the other side.
Over the past few years, we've seen the growth of existing and new initiatives focused on financial inclusion, building global networks, and reducing the wealth gap in response to the idea there's not enough seats at the table. Whether their outcomes are to increase the representation of Black executives on corporate boards, ensure an inclusive global economy, or to create new U.S. African commercial pathways, the strategies are often carried out by separate programs. The question is, should they be? With the continent of Africa being home to more than half of the world's fastest growing economies, the youngest workforce, over 400 companies generating more than $1 billion annually, 700 generating more than $500 million annually that are poised for growth, and being the destination of nearly $5 billion in venture capital in 2021. Diversifying U.S. and Africa commercial engagement by building bridges between African businesses and their U.S. diaspora should begin being seen as mutually beneficial. From helping to reduce Africa's enormous capital gap to catalyzing two-way trade opportunities, the COVID-19 global pandemic hopefully has taught us that global challenges and opportunities are more interconnected than we thought. During the pandemic, African companies like Unicorn Flutterwave, insurance provider Reliance Health, ride-hailing app Yasir, and 54Gene, the continent's first bank of DNA on people of African descent, proved that when African companies have access to networks, capital, and information, they grow big, grow fast, and create solutions that are valuable to the world. This is why BDirect was created. We are the first U.S.-based but African-centric board preparedness and board search company designed to connect U.S. Black talent and corporations to African businesses. Unique and fundamental to BDirect's success is our process of helping board candidates adapt their experience and networks to an African context before they're connected to high-growth companies that are looking to locally and globally scale. From our focus groups with African business execs and government leaders, we don't ignore the sentiment that business is easy, but people are hard. Having a pool of board candidates with hard-to-access networks and extensive experience across the business life cycle, including successfully raising capital, is table stakes for an initiative like this. So yes, we have that. But corporate or entrepreneurial success in the U.S. does not guarantee success in Africa. Developed alongside industry partners on the continent, our training program, BDirect Prep, is designed to transpose their experience to create cultural comfort, understanding, and a commitment to helping businesses in Africa scale. Our board governance sessions are African continental and country specific, integrated with cultural awareness and dexterity training, masterclasses led by African industry execs, and mentoring and coaching from African continental-based facilitators. But even more unique to BDirect Prep, we cap off our training program with an immersion trip to help candidates that have not been to Africa before see and feel Africa's complexity and opportunity from African soil. We all know traditional network-based board placement has historically left a lot of us out of ever really being in the paid board pipeline. Our strategy supports the work of many great organizations that are successfully filling seats at U.S. board tables by creating more tables for those that are still left on the sideline. It's time to start seeing the role and value of U.S. Black talent and businesses on the continent of Africa differently. Old perceptions and habits limit economic inclusion. Let's transition Black talent and the African businesses they will support from the periphery of the global economy to its core. Living in a global lockdown, we all know now how fast local and global economies can change and see the value of having businesses that hire, strengthen local value chains, and even grow globally. Status quo in any form holds back progress. We must democratize U.S.-Africa commercial engagement by socially and economically connecting cultures that have long been disconnected. It's time for Africa's U.S. diaspora to redefine their global value by helping African businesses scale continentally and globally.
Ladies, if you're a person who continually pours out, you won't want to miss this upcoming event. October 13, 14, and 15 at the Holiday Inn and Suites in Ocean City, Maryland, where we have a power-packed lineup of ladies who are going to pour into you. If you need to increase your impact, your influence, and your income, this is the event for you. Don't miss the power of sisterhood. These ladies coming from around the world to network and connect with you. Don't miss it. How do you get the information? Glad you asked. Go to barbarahsmith.com and click the link. All the details there. Don't miss Sisters Inspire Sisters to Advance, October 13, 14, 15 at the beautiful Holiday Inn and Suites in Ocean City, Maryland. What you know and I know together can change the world. I want to see you there.
Prepare for what's coming and dominate in economic winter. Stand strong and thrive by showcasing your great products and services globally through the Black Business Network.
Art to me is a creative expression of something from nothing. You know, it explodes onto the canvas, or it explodes on in my work. One of the things that I try to do more than anything is I try to just give the lines and the movements and emotions and expressions into what I do. Art really means to me a chance to express how I feel deep down inside. Most of my art begins as a thought that I might have, you know, whether it's sports, whether it's history, whether it's a woman or a man. It pretty much starts as an idea of thought before I get into the actual image of what I'm going to draw. I do a lot of historical pieces. I was a history minor in college, and I love to do history pieces. And a lot of times I'm thinking about history, and then I try to make that history impact you as you look at it. That's one of the reasons I do pictures so large. People ask me, why do I do the pictures so big? And I tell them, I want the piece to impact them as they're looking at it, to kind of dominate them, dominate their space. And most of my pieces I try to do off page. I don't try to do anything that's going to be in those four corners, or in a square. And I want your imagination to be a part of the piece that you're looking at. The way I feel when I'm drawing, when I'm creating something, is I feel free. I feel like there's an anticipation of something that's going to come. I try not to draw first. I try to draw second. And what I mean by that is I try to allow myself to kind of get into the piece and just relax. Sometimes I miss time. I'll draw 2, 3 hours, sometimes 4 hours. And while I'm drawing, it's just a free. I just feel free. I mean, I feel like time stands still. That's what it's all about in terms of the lines and the colors of my work, is to get an expression, to go deeper and past just what you see on the surface, but to go in and try to find an expression that everybody gets a different taste of what that expression is, whether it's anger or whether it's being happy or whether it's being, kind of calm or nonchalant. That expression that people take away from the piece is the most important part of what I do as an artist. Bold is the size of my pieces, where I try to do the piece larger than life, to kind of push forward toward you. That's what the boldness is all about. It's not so much about the lines, it's about the size. The Face of Change art show is inspired by my mother, but more importantly, it's a historical moment in time as the pieces depict different emotions and expressions of Barack Obama. The 44th president is indicative of the 44 pieces of art that I have done in this particular collection. When you begin to think about expressions and portraits, this is a portrait gallery of expressions of what transpired as Barack Obama ran for office. Some of the pictures are abstract and some are expressionistic. And I combined both of those forms of art to create this collection of art pieces. Overcomer, brilliant, ambitious, motivated, awesome. Obama.
Did you know that our black dollar only lasts for 6 hours in our community? Yet other communities, their dollars last for 19 or 30 days. The Black Wall Street Nation. Black Wall Street Nation. Yes, that's why we created the Black Wall Street Nation. Black Wall Street Nation is a centralized directory available to all black businesses across the world. It was created for businesses like you, the ones that want to start and the ones who have a dream that have already started, such as businesses like Drop in a Bucket Productions, Valito Foods, Sugar Tea Branding Firm, All the Dazzle, Bun Cakeaholic, Miss Riot, and you. We'll have marketing, seminars, and some funding coming soon just for you. So, we want you to come and join us. www.blackwallstreetnation.com. See you there.
Phenomenal Tanya T. Wise, who is here from the great state of Maryland. Tanya, welcome and thank you for being with us today. Can you indulge our audience a little bit and tell them just a little bit more about who you are and what it is that you do?
Well, I love being able to talk to people and have a magnetic attitude, being able to just show them. So I always like to say, level up is Coach at Tanya T. Wise here.
So can you tell our audience, just give them a teaser about what your presentation will be about?
So my philosophy is that we should all be living our dream life. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about how you start living your dream life. What are some of the things that you thought about in your childhood that you just kind of let go and dormant?
Wow.
And I want to reignite that and just give you some pointers and some tips, some tools, some strategies to be able to start living your best life now. And guess what, Rhonda? And leave an inheritance for your legacy.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I know that's resonating with a lot of people. I've heard that you have a dynamic coaching program. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So our coaching program help people that have the lack of time, that lack strategies, and lack the confidence to go after their dream life. So we help them implement tools, we help them implement strategies, as well as give them resources so that they can live their best life now and leave that inheritance.
Wow. Oh, I love that. I love the leave the inheritance part. Listen, you are dropping some major nuggets, and I know a lot of what you're saying is resonating with a lot of people, but I think we're all curious. How did you even make this transition into the speaking and coaching arena? What's the story behind this?
So I started out in finance, and I realized that a lot of people don't necessarily go after their dream life because of the lack of finances or the education behind finances. But it wasn't until I lost my firstborn, my only son, that life changed for me. And where I was going after it all, living the corporate life, hit my 6-figure income and living in my dream house with my dream man, driving my dream car. I nearly lost it all when I lost my son. And so I realized it only takes one financial catastrophe that can change your entire life. That's what made me start All New Beginnings. Because no matter what's going on in life, there's a new beginning. And because of that, we develop a program called Wise Minded. My little slogan is, don't just dream it, let's live it.
If they want to connect with you or work with you, what is the best ways for them to be able to do that?
Well, for my social media guru, you can connect with me on every single social media platform as Tanya T. Wise.
I'm Ramon Ray, founder of Smart Hustle Magazine and smallbiztechnology.com.
To celebrate small business success. Stand up on your feet. You rocked the house. Hey, thank you. It was amazing. Didn't we learn? For me, success comes from failure. One thing not to do is shake somebody's hand like this.
I'm Kennedy Harris. My genius is being an entrepreneur. I'm the CEO of K-Lock, a company where I develop my very own line of kids supplements. I currently market my multivitamin for kids to help combat weak immunity. During the pandemic, research has shown that having a strong immune system is key to fighting off disease. My vitamins are for kids, but adults can benefit from them as well. I'm adding a proprietary blend to my supplement line. I want to create my own blend so that I have a competitive edge in the marketplace. Staying healthy is important to me so that we live longer and have healthier lives. My website is klockproducts.com. That is K-L-O-C-K. Genius is common.
Hey guys, my name is Caden. I'm the CEO of Caden Teaches, and my genius is teaching kids about financial literacy. Throughout my financial products, such as my financial flashcards, my activity book, and my newest project, my financial bus, which I bought. And on the bus, it has a mock bank where kids will learn how to deposit and withdraw money, a mock grocery store where kids will be able to learn how to have a family budget, and a mock stock exchange where kids will even be able to learn how to invest in stocks. Now, I decided to start teaching kids about financial literacy because I find that most kids graduate high school without even knowing the basics about financial literacy. And I feel if I were to teach kids about financial literacy, that I would be able to help kids tap into their genius. And I actually learned about financial literacy to my dad because I would go to business meetings with him and I would always see that they were talking about financial literacy. And at that point, I didn't understand what financial literacy was. So I took it upon myself to learn about financial literacy and teach it to kids in a way that they could understand. But I want you guys to help me help kids tap into their genius by going to my website, cadenteaches.com, and you can sew into me in my financial bus by going to my GoFundMe link. And remember, if Caden can, you can too, because genius is common.
Attention all entrepreneurs and companies. Are you looking for reliable and efficient virtual assistants and back office support to help you manage your business tasks? Look no further than Superwoman Business Services. Our team of virtual assistants provides a full range of administrative support services, including operations management, social media marketing, and much more. We also offer website design services to help you create a professional online presence that reflects your unique brand. In addition to administrative support and website design, we offer business development and structuring services to help you grow your business and achieve your goals. We'll work closely with you to identify areas of improvement and develop a customized plan to help you reach your full potential. At Superwoman Business Services, we understand that running a business can be overwhelming and time-consuming. That's why we're here to help you fly high and achieve success. Our virtual assistants are highly skilled, experienced, and dedicated to providing you with the support you need to thrive. Come fly with us and take your business to new heights. Let us help you become the superhero entrepreneur you are meant to be. Contact Superwoman Business Services today to learn more about our back office support services. Come fly with us and take your business to new heights. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Good afternoon, heading into evening, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Charles Kithcart. I am the CEO of African Diaspora Maritime, and I'm your business moderator for this afternoon on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. Today, we have a special treat. We have Dr. Sharon Hunter-Rainey, the Managing Director of the Equity Research Action Coalition, housed at the Frank Porter Graham Child Development Institute at the University of North Carolina. The coalition is a multidisciplinary, multi-generational collection of researchers conducting original research and reanalyzing published data using an equity lens to influence public policy to ensure all children have access to resources they need to thrive. Her work has addressed equity in varied settings for decades. She is a founding member of the Black Women's Managers Initiative at Procter & Gamble and currently co-chairs the Advocacy Committee for the Carolina Black Caucus. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Sharon Hunter-Rainey, PhD. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Charles. I would like to share some things with you from I call myself a recovering professor, but we hear people throw around the word strategy a lot, and it's not always in context. So I want to share, I think I fit into the category of thought leader, but I want to share a little bit about what strategy is and what strategy isn't. And one of the industries that I follow, because I'm a reader, is libraries, the literary publishing industry. And so you'll hear me refer to examples and scenarios in that setting that are pretty different from the work I do on a day-to-day basis now. But this is something that I've put a lot of time into over the course of my career since I finished the doctorate. But I want to start out with defining strategy. So strategy is the action plan for competing successfully and operating profitably. And it's based on a set of decisions that you make. So according to Jan Rifkin, you commit to specific actions with the strategy, but those choices also imply what is excluded. So for example, in higher education in North Carolina, one of the things that we explicitly don't do is remedial education. The state has made huge investments in community colleges. And so that's why the four-year institutions are like, no, we don't do remedial. There's a very well-known article, What is Strategy? And it was written by Michael Porter the year of the Atlanta Olympic Games. But the basic definition that he shares is strategy is creation of a unique and valuable position involved in different activities. And the basis for those actions comes from three different sources, if you will. One is serving a few needs of many customers. Another is meeting the broad needs of a few customers. And then the last option is meeting broad needs of many customers. And so the few of many might be a place like Ulta Cosmetics. Broad needs of a few may be a specialty grocery store, like a place such as Wegmans. Not everybody's going to go to the Wegmans, but they have prepared food. They have a little restaurant. There are different styles of restaurants in Wegmans, but it covers the needs of a select few that actually shop there. The broad needs of many customers, the best example I can share is Walmart, where everybody can find something they need in Walmart. If it's something to wear, something to eat, and everything in between, household items, household cleaning supplies, things for your car. But Walmart is the best example of broad needs of many. There's another approach. Are you sure you have a strategy? Are you sure you have a strategy is looking outside, but you're looking outside and trying to figure out how are we going to meet our goals? And so there are 5 areas that matter. 1 is arenas. The next one is vehicles. The 3rd is differentiators. 4th is staging. And 5th is economic logic. So arenas, it's what product categories do you compete in? So when I talked about Walmart is in a lot of different categories because it's got all those things I named before. The market segments, Walmart can probably provide something for every group of people. If you take a quick look at higher education, there are certain segments of the market that appeal to certain groups of people. So there are people who might want a certification. So they may go to the community college, get the certification, and go straight to work. There is nothing wrong with that. We've been targeting a lot of people into 4-year degree programs when what might match what they're doing is what's available at the community college. There are geographic areas that people pay attention to. And so some things are local, some things are national, and there are other things that are global. There are universities that have a local presence. So I'm in Durham, North Carolina, and one of the schools in Durham is North Carolina Central University, which is an HBCU. Another school in Durham is Duke University. Duke has a main campus here, but it's also set up a satellite campus. And what is happening with the satellite campus is they're taking people from the United States who go and collaborate with partners in Asia to make it happen in those places. The core technologies matter. And I told you earlier, I pay attention to publishing and libraries. In my day, when I was growing up, I used to go to the local library and like to find things. You would look in a card catalog. Now, the library may not even have physical books. Some of the content is digital and it's lent out, and you never actually have to go to the library to borrow the book, read the book, and check it back in. So you can do it all from your home. There's also different stages to the value creation. So every time something moves in the value chain, if you will, there's something that people are willing to pay for. At the beginning of the pandemic, when things were shut down, one of the businesses that really took off was DoorDash. And it was because people wanted food. They weren't necessarily going to go out and buy the ingredients. And even if you went out to try to buy the ingredients, it may or may not be there. DoorDash was doing a service for both the restaurants that were closed, so there was not foot traffic, but is also providing a service to the customers, the end users who wanted food to eat but couldn't go out and necessarily buy the ingredients or go sit in a restaurant during the shutdown. So there are different stages to that value creation step. The vehicles, how are you going to make your money? So sometimes you can create a concept and you can make an idea work. I've seen I used to run an entrepreneurship center when I lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I've seen people with ideas. And when we started, it was an idea on paper. I left that role not quite a decade ago, but more than 5 years ago. And watching those businesses thrive it's amazing. And that's an internal development because people had ideas and they turned their ideas into businesses. There were a couple of people who were already running businesses when they came into the program, but just watching the ones who just had ideas and turn those into thriving businesses is kind of important. Joint ventures are when you have two entities that come together to make something happen. And so you see this sometimes. It happens sometimes in the automotive industry. You see it in retail where they will cross brand something. So it'll be Disney by Coach, but it's two entities, and you have Disney fans who are also Coach fans. So they will pay whatever you're charging for some of these things. Licensing and franchising is not all that common in publishing, but licensing and franchising happens. Like if you look at a Madden video game, you see that happening because the video games are published or released by one company, but they're paying fees to the NFL. They're paying fees to Madden. I guess it might be his estate now, but Madden. And sometimes there are acquisitions, and we've seen acquisitions happen in retail pharmacies. People have, like there used to be Eckerd's turned into Rite Aid, then it turned into Walgreens, and they just continue to acquire. So we now have more or less two retail pharmacies, national retail pharmacies, and there are lots of small private pharmacies, but many of the national chains just don't exist anymore because they were bought by another entity. And even in the pharmaceutical industry itself, when I finished my MBA, there were probably, I'm going to say there were 10 to 12 pharmaceutical companies. And of those legacy companies, some of them have merged so much that 4 or 5 of them are embedded in what we know today as GlaxoSmithKline. The differentiators matter. So an image is, what do you want your customer to perceive about you? There are some things that can be customized. So nowadays, when you go, if you want to go buy an electric car and even a regular gasoline fuel car, you can go into a database, tell them exactly what you want. You can choose, well, some of them, they just basically say these are the standard features to get the minimum price up to a level, but you can choose what features you do and don't want. Price, you can be what I'll call a value price, or you can be a premium price. You can buy an EV that goes anywhere from, say, electric vehicle is what I'm talking about when I say EV, but you can go anywhere from a Chevy Volt all the way to the thing that's the Lucid, and they don't even have dealerships, but they're charging enough money that I think the base price is somewhere in the neighborhood of $75,000 to $80,000. Styling can be a differentiator. When I talked about the example of Disney by Coach, if it's Coach, it's supposed to be leather, and so there's certain features that you can put in there. But the flip side of the styling is also reliability. If you spend the premium to get the Disney branded leather goods, you're expecting it to last a little while. And one of the things that Coach used to do that it doesn't even do anymore is if you invested in the bag would be repaired by Coach, and now they just send it back and say, we can't fix it. So you have to have somebody to help you maintain that reliability. Staging matters, and sometimes things grow too quickly, and sometimes things have to happen in a certain order. So when I was talking about the library, switching from what I'll call physical books, journals, whatever the case may be, to digital content, the library had to have, one, the computers to make the digital content accessible to the users, but it also needed a database management. Another example of database management is the old model for iTunes. iTunes wasn't contributing any value. It was basically giving people a way to organize their music. So Apple hadn't created any content, but it gave you a way. So you first had to have the device, and the original device was the iPod, and then it morphed into the iPhone, and iTunes eventually went away because people had other mechanisms for streaming and organizing their content. The pace matters. We talked about DoorDash a little bit, and DoorDash grew very quickly at the beginning of the pandemic. And then as people were able to get outside, so to speak, things changed, but it also changed the physical locations. I've been supporting local businesses with my restaurant dollars. I tend to buy it and still bring it home, but I've been supporting local businesses, but some of them are adding surcharges and they don't even tell you what they are. I have a church member whose son opened up a restaurant, and he has full disclosure before you even place your order to say, we're going to add this surcharge for basically a living wage for the wait staff. And I'd rather hear what the surcharge is for and know I'm contributing to this or that rather than have somebody spring it on me without saying, this is what it's for. The economic logic is important. Walmart is an example of massive scale. Because of the number of people that Walmart can count as its customers, it can sell you, say, a handbag for less money than the same handbag would cost you at a boutique. And it's getting those low costs because it's buying so much quantity. So it's got the maximum discount on whatever it is. Sometimes you can get low cost from what you do and what you don't do. So there are some places that will tell you, we sell running shoes. They don't sell stilettos. They don't sell hiking boots. They sell running shoes. And because they're focused on that specific area, they get cost advantages. Sometimes there are places that will have premium prices, and it's because they're offering something unique. So there are places that you go. If you go to the Ritz-Carlton, there's a level of service that comes with that stay at the hotel that allows the Ritz-Carlton to charge you a premium. There's sometimes proprietary features. There are eyeglass lenses, and I can't think of the name. I think it's Luxottica, but there's a premium on this lens because it's non-glare, it's high definition, and it's supposed to be incredibly durable. And those are all proprietary features in one lens that people are willing to pay for. When you are making these decisions about the vehicles, the arenas, the economic logic, you got to be honest and you got to talk about what's the situation, where are we trying to go, and the last question is, how are we going to get there? So when you have any organization, it can be the biggest business, it can be a mom and pop that you started last night, but there are some environmental factors that you have to pay attention to. The first one, the central one, is the actual organization itself. And so there are forces and conditions outside the boundaries that affect that organization's ability to get resources and to use those resources. And these external forces vary over time. And we'll get to the SWOT analysis in a minute, but there are opportunities to reach new groups or to enter new markets by enhancing your competitive position. But there are also threats from new competitors. And so when DoorDash got what I'll call the run at the beginning of the pandemic, then we saw Uber Eats, and then there are local variations of all of those. And so that's an example of a new competitor coming into the space. This concept, so we talked about the organization. The organization operates in two environments. The first one is the task environment, which is closest to the organization. The task environment speaks to what the organization is trying to do. And like I say, it can be a mom and pop, it can be Walmart, it can be the federal government. And outside the task environment is another broader environment, and that's the general environment. So within the task environment, there are four elements. The first one is competitors. Book publishers and other organizations that sell databases or distribute journals offer goods and services similar to what's available in the library. The potential competitors might be organizations that aren't currently operating there and could enter in the future. And so when we see people who self-publish books, those are potential competitors to the established Putnam's, Norton, the ones, Simon and Schuster, the big ones that we really know. There can be rivalry, and when there's competitive rivalry, it creates price competition. And that's what we saw happening with DoorDash and Uber Eats. And you can sometimes decrease the prices, but when prices come down, the profits also go down. Another element in the task environment is distributors. The distributors are the entities that make it possible to move the goods and services to the end users. If you've got a really big and powerful distributor, it can limit access by controlling who's in the market. So General Motors used to be a really dominant player in the automotive industry. I was driving along the interstate today and kind of counting the cars that I saw, and there are very few General Motors cars. But back in the day when General Motors was king, it had distributors, and there was a distributor for the radios, there was a distributor for the tires. There was even a marriage for Ford, the Ford family, and I believe it might have been BF Goodrich, which was an American tire company. And that led to a marriage between those families because the tire company was selling so many tires to the Ford Motor Company. Distributors' effects on an environment can be affected if you go and look for alternative distribution channels. And so sometimes you can disrupt that. Amazon is an example of an entity that has disrupted the way books are sold, and they tested it on books because there was really no expiration date on books. But Amazon has effectively become the Walmart of the internet. You can go on Amazon and buy anything. They're selling furniture, they're selling household items, they're selling shoes. They acquired Zappos to sell even more shoes. And so that's an example of the effect that a distributor can have. Customers are any group of people using the goods and services available, and you can identify the primary user to ensure what they need will be key to the operations. There are some entities, though, where the end user is different from the person who's actually experiencing the service. And the best example I can give of that is childcare. So a parent puts a child in childcare and pays the bill, but the end user is the person who's affected by the treatment and the teaching and learning that happened in that arena while the parents are off at work. The last element of the task environment, I believe it's the last one, is suppliers. And those are the individuals and organizations that provide the input that you use to create content. So in publishing, authors might be the suppliers. In research publications, again, authors are suppliers. When you have sole source suppliers, those suppliers have a strong bargaining position. Once upon a time, I worked for Procter & Gamble, and Procter & Gamble had a product called Metamucil. The primary ingredient in Metamucil is psyllium. It's grown in one place. It literally is the primary active ingredient in this over-the-counter drug. And so because it's grown in one place, the people growing that crop have the power. If you go to McDonald's and you eat French fries, the majority of those French fries come from potatoes that were built to or grown to a specific specification. Supplier effects are diminished when you have more than one entity that can supply whatever you need. It can be airbags, it can be tires. If you got a competitor, that helps you. Let's see. The last element in the task environment is barriers. And so a barrier makes it hard for somebody to copy what you do. And so sometimes if you're big enough, people can't copy you. And sometimes customers have preferences for what's available. So up until about 1973, people in this country had a preference for American cars. And then there was a fuel crisis. And when the price of gasoline went up, the Americans were building these inefficient cars. People started looking at the foreign cars, and that option led to what I saw today when I was driving along the highway, where very few of the cars I passed were American, and fewer of those were General Motors. The barriers to entry can be related to economies of scale, and that's how much it costs you to make something. It can be brand loyalty. There are some Midwestern cities that are union towns. And so for a long time, even after the rest of Americans had walked away from American cars, in those Midwestern cities, there was still brand loyalty to the American. Sometimes you can create barriers to entry, and those barriers come through agreements. So you buy 80% of a supplier's stock. If they've only got 20% to sell, you've created a barrier to entry. And all of those things together can stop the competition. We talked about the task environment, and then there's a general environment. I'm almost to the finish line, but there are about 6 forces. One is the economic forces, and we're experiencing that right now. Interest rates is an example. The interest rate for a mortgage right now is sitting right around 7%. It hasn't been that high in 20 years. We've got low unemployment, but we've got high inflation. So things that we were paying like $5 for, $4.99, $5 for before the pandemic, we're now paying $8.49 for the same item bought at the same store. So inflation is a factor. These are forces that internal management can't influence, you can't control, but they profoundly affect organizations. There are places that are saying, well, our sales are down, our profits are down. And it's partly down because of inflation. People's salaries and the money they have to spend have not increased at the same rate as prices. And so you want to pay attention to how those external forces impact whatever it is you're selling, a good or a service or both. Technological forces, there's evolution of technology, and it can change opportunities and threats, and it can make products obsolete. So an example of that is the iPod I mentioned a little while ago.
Dr. Rainey.
Yes.
Let me ask this question. You've given so much information for somebody to really understand what their business can do and the coherence of being able to function.
Yes.
People are going to want follow-up questions. They're going to want to interact with you. Is there a contact or a way that they can write to you or see your platform? I'm sure you have this laid out.
I have it laid out. I've got, let me give you my email address. I have it laid out. I think the email may be the best way. It's not set up on LinkedIn. Hold on. You ready?
Yep.
It's Sharon, SHARRON HR at AOL.com. It's not set up on LinkedIn.
Okay. So give it to us one more time. People can't write as fast as we can talk.
Okay. SHARRON HR at AOL.com. And the reason I use books and publishing is because I know people are in different industries. Sure. And I want them to think about it, because I think a lot of people read. I'm not going to say everybody reads, but I want them to think about it in the context of publishing. And then there's another step when you apply it to whatever industry you're in. Because I used to pay attention when I was in the classroom. I paid attention to the publishing industry and the automotive industry.
Okay, I understand. Well, you were given those analogies. And so, you talk about what you know. That's just the thing. And I'm an avid reader myself. I'm actually reading that Shakespeare might not have written Shakespeare, and it might have been one of the earls.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
But the big guy, the big name got the credit.
No, the little name got the credit because royalty and landed gentry couldn't publish and write for the masses. It was frowned upon back then. And so he was writing these great works. And there's a big story behind it. But the thesis of it is by reading, you learn these things and you hear these things and you know these things. I'll also tell you something interesting. Dr. Kelly said that it was your idea of going online that helped the Black Business Network and for us all to hear this instead of just live in Durham.
It's a big deal. You can reach more people. And that's another example of the pandemic changing how we do business, because before the pandemic, you could make it to the hotel and there would be people there, but there are people around the world that could have benefited from. But the pandemic changed a lot.
Now, I'm going to let you in on some information. You should be able to figure this out just by my shirt and tie, but I'm a Carolinian.
That's where my check comes from.
I know. And I'm going to ask you a question. You have to tell us the truth. Did you feel comfortable going to Durham and doing these shows with Dr. Kelly? Or did you suggest online so you don't have to get too close to Duke?
No. I'm a Duke PhD. I was born at Duke Hospital before the university integrated. I'm one of the few people you'll meet who was admitted to Duke twice. I got in as an undergraduate and I was like, oh, that'll be too expensive. And to date myself, by the time I was a senior in college, it was $10,000 a year to go to Duke.
Right. A bargain now.
A bargain. Exactly. But I'm a Duke PhD, and my second grade teacher was married to the athletic director who hired Coach K. So I am Durham, born and bred. There's probably not anywhere I would go in Durham and be afraid. This is home.
I love it. Now, I am a Carolinian, but I've got on the Carolina blue. You've got on Duke blue. I can see that.
I do.
Yeah. So we for the listening audience, we're natural enemies. But I'll tell you, it was funny because these institutions are so extraordinary. They're so close to each other, and they feed off of each other. And of course, Duke is an extraordinary academic institution. And we know when we hear that word Duke that these are some very high standards. And the knowledge that you've imparted to us today is so valuable because we've got to understand the workings of business. It's not just to open a business, but to really understand what you're doing and why. Yes.
That's the key. And that's why, like, people use the word strategy a lot, and the fundamentals matter. I had to learn strategy to be able to communicate with my dissertation committee chair because he was a strategy professor and I was doing diversity, equity, and inclusion. But it became my signature course when I was teaching at NCCU, but I had to learn it to be able to talk to him. And when I watch these former students and some of these businesses they are launching, I am so excited because it started in my classroom.
Sure. And the thing I'm loving now is that I remember when someone came to visit me in my office, and I had a bunch of books about my business and what I do. They said, well, you don't have any business management books. And I said, well, they're all in my drawer right by my desk because I grab those all the time. And when you learn business strategy, your business can be supple. You can adjust. You can forecast and see what's coming. And business forecasting is one of the things I love because you are preparing for what you think is coming as studying the trends.
Right. So, and you know when to pivot. And that's why I was talking about those environments. So people have an understanding of when to pivot. And the pandemic forced Kelly to pivot sooner than he might have.
Right. Well, this is amazing. So when I come down there, because I'm a Carolinian, my parents were born there, my grandparents were born there, and I was born there. So I'll be down, and I'm sure we'll all get together and go see the Durham Bulls. And I'm thrilled to have met you and to listen to this program. It was extraordinary. I've just been taking notes. And Dr. Kelly's vision for the Black Business Network is so inspirational because sometimes we get frustrated in our day-to-day walk. We don't see enough excellent people all the time. And this program is excellent people all the time. And from everywhere. So we're used to it now. We love seeing it. And I want to thank you for coming on and imparting some of your extraordinary resources and intellect and knowledge. And as they say, genius is common. I'll see you on the other side. Thank you, Dr. Rainey.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's another guest that is helping us, teaching us, showing us strong intellectual capabilities. And all we have to do is look at this and realize the answers to success are there. We know that the Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K through 12 entrepreneurs. I'm sure you've seen some of those commercials. So if you want to donate and support this, if you're enjoying the speakers that you hear, the banter, the knowledge, the things they're imparting that you experience, then go to blackbusinessexpousa.com and donate. Or you can look at the bottom of the screen and for Cash App, and it's the $sign BBXUSA, Black Business Expo USA. Make a donation. The goal is to give $5,000 and 10 laptops out to students. And the students can register at blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts. We need the help, and we're going to turn more successes by our efforts, and we're going to make the Genius is Common theme common amongst all of us. I want to thank our sponsors for making this possible. NC100, Moody Capital Partners, Suede Soul, Lotus Ritchie Coaching and Training, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, STEP Management, BHS and Associates, Margie McLean Foundation Incorporated, Genius is Common, Earth Essentials, Melanie Shani Global, Executive Women's Success Institute, The Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, and Black Business Expo USA. Genius is Common. I'll see you on the other side.
You are in the right place at the right time. The Black Business Network opens again for its Black Business Olympics, a 24/7 broadcast on business, strategies, global branding, social media marketing, finance, advertisement, and much, much more. Featuring the top, most powerful entrepreneurs and speakers and thought leaders from all around the world as they gather together for this phenomenal event. Join the Black Business Network streaming live into the metaverse, STEM City USA, Black Multiverse, Pod TV, Roku, Hulu, iHeartRadio, Apple TV, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Google Podcasts, Facebook, LinkedIn, IBM TV, Spotify, and Twitch. Tune in today and be a part of this amazing movement. The Black Business Olympics welcomes you. How many times have you been asked to help someone you didn't even know, a student, a business entrepreneur, or did you ever even ask, where did they end up? That business, that friend, that entrepreneur. Well, just maybe they ended up in a gang, bankrupt, homeless, or worse, dead. Maybe they turned to crime, drugs, and alcohol. Did you ever wonder? Did you destroy their dream, or was your life always so easy? At the Black Business Olympics, we started a movement to help students complete. Give them hope and foster success. Help them to leave their dreams of providing laptops, computers, and up to $5,000 in scholarship funds. Today, we ask you to help a student, a business owner, or an entrepreneur to realize their dream by sponsoring them, supporting them, and buying from them. Consider this. With $1.6 trillion in our Black community, we only ask for a small donation for our students, our businesses, and our entrepreneurs. And you can change a life today. So I ask you, what are you going to
sit on the sideline and watch our students in high school be leaders, miss out on their dream from lack of resources? Or are you going to donate to the movement and change their future and yours as well? Give us a call today at 919-308-9090. Change their life by investing with action to the Black Business Olympic Fund. The Black Business Olympics, one of the largest business showcases of Black business in the history of the world.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school, all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina.
Join Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school, all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world.
Did you know that approximately 333.34 million businesses exist today, according to a report from 2021? And you may be one of those businesses, or maybe you're not in the business market yet, but you're aspiring to be a business owner. Well, guess what? You're in the right place at the right time. Because let's face it, everything is about timing and opportunity. Hi, my name is Dr. Lotus Richey, and I'm the CEO and founder of the Lotus Richey Coaching and Consulting LLC, along with the Lotus Richey Ignite Show. 15 minutes of success with Dr. Lotus Richey, as well as books to boom your business and bring who you are. And today, I want to bring this amazing message to you about the Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympics. See, the Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympics is designed to help people just like you, that's right, that look like me, to take their business to the next level. Not just in your front yard or your backyard, but globally. The Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics is designed not to just help you survive, but to help you thrive. So join us today as we come together with businesses all around the world to support our students, our children, our young teens, our young entrepreneurs. What we do is we come together to help raise funds for students who are aspiring to be business entrepreneurs, who are aspiring and who are thriving in college. We endow them with a wonderful opportunity to gain scholarship of either a laptop or several thousands of dollars. And we invite you to help be a contributor to this amazing opportunity to help someone that looks just like you. So join us today at our website and let us connect with you and help you ignite and take flight in every area of your life on the Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympics. I'll see you on the other side.
Sailing has become a passion. That's what it's done for my life.
African Diaspora Maritime, or ADM, is an America's Cup team based in Baltimore. It's led by Executive Director and longtime maritime captain Charles Cathcart. He was a member of the 1992 America's Cup winning team. He wants Baltimore to experience it all.
Everybody wants to be on an America's Cup team. So it's known how many America's Cup teams there are. And when this is out already, people are asking, can I be on the team?
The effort will take about 45 people and cost some $80 million. Building a racing vessel, launching it, and training the sailing team will be funded in part by sales of merchandise. Branded jerseys for men and women, in addition to donations and sponsorships. Cathcart says he has sponsors lined up already. Along the way, he hopes to bring to the community the history of the Black mariner, offer internships, and get young people involved.
STEM is the America's Cup, so you have to build and design your own vessel. So just doing that and us doing webinars is going to be exposure to it. And people are going to be excited because the America's Cup is high end.
Cathcart says he wants people to be able to watch history in the making.
We're going to have a way for people to come and see the boat being built. So we're going to partition it, and just like the video you saw of the build, we'll have a glass partition and people can watch from the other side the process.
You can find out more about the ADM team and how you can take part by going to our website. Lisa Robinson, WBAL TV 11 News.
An organization called African Diaspora Maritime just announced a first-of-its-kind sailing team that will be based right here in Baltimore.
This team has some groundbreaking goals. Alex Glaze has much more on the story, and he's going to break it down for us.
This is the chance for us to change the conversation in America, with Baltimore leading the way.
As a member of the 1992 America's Cup winning team, Charles Cathcart knows what it takes to win. But his vision for ADM's sailing team goes far beyond what happens in the water.
The goal, besides just the racing, is to reach out to the communities that need support, that need vision, that need a way to get people more involved in a wide variety of topics.
The plan is for the Baltimore-based team to be easily accessible to young people and give them an opportunity to learn. ADM's program will not only teach the sport of sailing, but also the math, science, and engineering behind the new technologies of sailing.
These skills are going to be needed to expand the knowledge of these young people in their futures, even if they choose not to continue with competitive sailing.
ADM is hoping to introduce yachting to a new audience and show the world how sports and community can affect change.
What we envision happening is that with this team acting just like a Jamaican bobsled team, people from around America are going to focus in on Maryland and see how we're doing things. And if we do the things that we should with this team and reach out to people and get everybody involved, as many people as possible, we're going to be a template for the things that can change in this country.
I absolutely love this. I mean, them teaching more than just the sailing, the science behind it, the endurance, a lot of things that have to come to fruition.
A lot of math, and you would think that a sailor would be, you know, scrawny, small guy. No, they're saying that these guys are built like defensive backs of the Ravens. So these are bigger, in shape guys. That
they might do a little double dose there. They might sail during the week, play for the Ravens on Sundays. We'll see.
How long a program is it? Do you know how long it takes for them to learn?
I don't know how long it takes, but they were saying it costs a lot of money.
I'm sure it does.
Almost $100 million to put together a winning team. That's a lot of money goes into that.
So glad to hear that you're going to be supporting the project.
The Black Business Expo is changing my life. This year, they are giving away laptops and even $5,000 in cash to students just like me. I'm Alexis, and I want to go to college to fulfill my dream of becoming an entrepreneur. Help the Black Business Expo going to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com and also becoming a vendor, a sponsor, or donating.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Well, good evening, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations, welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Charles Cathcart. I am the moderator for this evening on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. This evening, we share now with the founder of the Black Business Network, Dr. Eric Kelly. While Dr. Kelly is getting ready to come on, I just want to review some of the great speakers that we had. If you were listening to Dr. Hunter Rainey, PhD, she gave a synopsis on what businesses can do and focus on. When you start a business, that's the beginning of the trip. It's not the end of the journey. There he is, Dr. Kelly. Welcome to your show.
Well, you know, when they say it's my show, it is my show. But it really is the people's show. You know, the people make it happen. The people make it go. The people make it do what it does. I didn't say do what it do. I said do what it does. A plural. When we begin to look at today and tomorrow, we got to look at happiness. And what is happiness? Happiness is living in the moment and living in today. And of course, genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side. You know, it's always great when we get an opportunity to come before you and begin to think about what are the things that makes life go around. Many times we must begin to talk about the game of time and energy. The game of time and energy. You know, all week, 7 days a week, I was thinking about what to leave with you after all these tremendous speakers from around the globe have said. On Monday, we had speakers to speak about inspiration, empowerment. On Tuesday, advertising, public relations, marketing, merchandising, and sales. Wednesday, 64 ways to do your business on the internet, social media, all day. And then on Thursday, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And of course, Friday, understanding that the average age on the planet is 29. With that being said, we had people talking about Generation X versus Generation Z. And oh, what a wonderful time Friday was. And then Saturday. Saturday was a time that we did Black business and the culture. And today has been Black business and the future. I opened up talking about the game of energy and time. So I want you to think about these last 7 days. What were you doing? What did you get out of what we presented? When you think about the lives of the business owners who spoke all week long from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night, what did you learn? What did you do? With over $11 million, $11 trillion in Black hands, do we continue to allow it to go everywhere but in our community? Very bold question. The Black Business Network is here to showcase businesses from across the globe. With that being said, for those who have been on this ride with us for the last 4 years, and I should say 3.5 years, because now we're on August of this year. September is right around the corner. History of time moves on. As I opened up with, and I'm going to say it one more time because I'm going to bring that to you strong this evening, and that is the game of energy and time. Ask yourself, what do you put your energy in, and what do you spend your time with to get to your ultimate goal or mission? That's got to be the key to life. Now, for those of you who have had an opportunity to be with us on this journey, and this journey is to do Black Business Live all over the globe. Yes, indeed, that's a bold mission, a bold goal, but it is not a finite mission, but an infinite mission. And the difference between a finite mission and an infinite mission is this. A finite mission would be just this week. And when we got to this, to today and to this very moment, at the end of this hour, this movement or this event is over. No matter how you look at it, it's over. That's called finite. That means, like baseball. Baseball has its rules. You don't get a 10th inning in baseball unless you're tied. But that's a rule. That's a finite game. I mean, that's a finite game. So the Black Business Olympics is an infinite game. It has no rules. We don't know how many speakers are going to speak. We've had over 3,000 speakers to speak. And they've spoke in different manners, different kind of ways. They've said what they want to say because it's an infinite game. Remember, time and energy. And as we look at time and energy, you have to look at what are the rules. There are no rules in an infinite game. Sometimes a new rule happens. Sometimes a moderator comes in and says, I want to moderate for 4 days. Sometimes a moderator says, I want to moderate for 2 days. Sometimes a speaker says, I want to speak for 4 days. And sometimes a speaker says, I just want to listen. No rules to an infinite game. And our game is going or looking at a vision of being 365 days of the year live. And so when people ask the question, what do I get? Why do I come? What is it that I get? I simply say you get an opportunity to be recognized, showcased. You get an opportunity to be known. And many times in business, you think that people know you because you have people around you. But people around you not buying your products or your services don't mean anything. So broaden your horizon, broaden where you live at, broaden doing business globally is an opportunity of a lifetime. When we get here on the last hour of the Black Business Olympics, I always like to thank individuals, business owners, loved ones, and what I call history makers. Because who really makes history? People that make history are the people that raise us to be who we are. And who you raise up to be who they're going to be makes you a history maker. And so looking at that and saying thank you, I like to start my thank yous out with my great-great-grandfather, who at the very early age of 7 said to me, I want you to be a lawyer because every family needs a lawyer. I looked him in his eye and I said, Papa, I don't want to be a lawyer. I want to be an artist. He said, well, if you want to be an artist, let me see your work. This was the first time that I was challenged. But the key to being challenged is to be ready. And I was ready. I went to the side of my bed, I brought out my drawings, and he said, oh, you do want to be an artist. He walked out of the room. A month later, he came in and he said, listen, this is what we're going to do. Since you want to be an artist, then we're going to start your museum right in this house where you can sell your art. And once I got into high school and became a very, very interesting individual in the art world, winning awards, he bought my first collection. Oh, what a man he was. Then I want to thank my grandmother who started in 1990 the Black Business Expo. She said because I got an art scholarship, she saw it in me, the change, and she wanted to change kids and students all over the world. So she started giving out scholarships to kids via the Black Business Olympics. I want to thank my mother, and as you saw earlier, Dr. Sharon Hunter Rainey, who also inspired me to create the Black Business Olympics. And with the Black Business Olympics, which is one of the largest business showcases in the world, yes, the world, they laid the framework, but not the footprint for where we're going. The footprint was laid by Malcolm X, who said by any means necessary, by Marcus Musel Garvey, whose birthday just passed, who said he wanted Black people to be seen in their greatness all over the world, even though the narrative was, let's take all Black people back to Africa. That was not the narrative that he planned. Yes, indeed. And Fannie Lou Hamer said, I'm tired of always being tired. They were the pioneers for what we're doing. They were the pioneers, the Nelson Mandelas, who was in prison for 27 years and then boom, out of prison to become the president, to change the landscape of a nation. The Madam C.J. Walker, who in her greatness and her husband's greatness, who was an advertising guy, pushed a movement across the world and became the first millionaires in the world. I want to begin by thanking a young lady by the name of Angel Green, the president of the Black Business Olympics, the Black Business Expo, who has totally changed how we do business. I also want to thank, as I look at and think in my head, I want to thank Lovella Stancer Kelly, my moms, of course, who make sure that this runs well, Francis Cagle. I want to thank Kimberly McLean. I want to thank Margie McLean. I want to thank Madam Madeline Ann Lewis, who continues to inspire me each and every day. I want to especially thank Gerald Stone, Sharon Hunter Rainey, and I want to thank Bree of Superwoman Business Services. Yes, Verena Morris, want to thank you for all the tireless work you've done behind the scenes to ensure that this event is powerful. Want to thank Tamisha Thomas, who pushed this information out on 20 other networks, along with the 10 networks that we had in place. Want to thank Our World Network, young man by the name of Anthony Weeks. Want to thank you so very much for allowing us to be a part of your nation. Thank you, Anthony. Now, as we think about all of the speakers last week, you know it's a big list, and every time I begin to talk about this big list, it's not an easy task because it was so many speakers, over 100 speakers. Want to thank Jocelyn McEldry. Want to thank Lawrence Nichols, who came in and spoke several times. As I said, this is an infinite game. Want to thank Mike Johns. Want to thank Loretta McNary. Want to thank the CMSDC, Carolina's Minority Supply and Development Council, for being one of our sponsors. Want to thank Dominique Simpson Milton, who brought Davion Henry, who's tearing down the statues all over the country. Want to thank Renata Brown. Want to thank the Black Wall Street Nation's CEO, Sharon Thickley. Want to thank Tabitha Russell, who's getting ready to do another show next week. Want to thank all of the people who are making it happen for what we are doing. Want to thank Kadar Muhammad. Of course, I want to thank Dr. T.L. Holmes. And I like to take my time when I'm thanking people because, again, without these speakers, this wouldn't have been a great deal. Wouldn't have been a great show. Want to thank a lady I call my cousin, Sandra Wall-Williams. We had a young lady who came, Chief Chanel Dickerson, who came on and talked about how she looked at what she wanted to be in life and accomplished it. Of course, the social media lady wanted to thank Ida Mahurju. She's going to kill me because I hatchet her name, but she knows what I mean. Want to thank Shay Brown. Shay Brown, the salesman extraordinaire. And of course, I want to thank another young lady by the name of Kat Cacciardo. Kat Cacciardo, who is a fitness coach. She told us that she was 66, and you looked at her, she looked like she was 25. When I think a guy out in Las Vegas by the name of Jackson Chris, B. Jacqueline Jeter, and a superstar in the making, Shelly Jeffco, who said she wants to be the Oprah Winfrey of the network. Coach Trey Bell, who brought us Dwayne Golden. I want to thank a lady out of London. And you know, when we talk about people all over the world, we got people all over the world. I want to thank Maria Bond. I want to thank Edie Clark, Janet Butler, who came in again today to do a great presentation of Fireside Chat and moderated. Want to thank Bukeka Blakemore. Yes, indeed. Want to thank the young lady for introducing Fab Unite TV. Yes, indeed. Want to thank Carolyn Wilson, who was a co-host on the Oz Show. Want to thank Bishop Darrell Anderson. Want to thank Angela Baptiste. Want to thank Coach Peggy Muhammad. And you know, when I begin to thank people, it just rolls up into me what they did all week. How they committed for you, not for me, but for you to see them in their greatness. What did you do? Did you take notes? Want to also thank Dr. Step Audrey, who brought Dr. Keedy and brought the health initiative to this platform. Definitely want to thank a young man in radio, Jerry Smith. Want to thank Melanie Perry and Norma Hollis, who Norma Hollis did several fireside chats. Want to thank another lady by Tanya T. Wise. And Tanya T. Wise was a young lady who not only spoke about her company, she was a moderator. Want to thank Andre Ward. Want to thank Nia Lewis, Tandra Price, who brought her team in again this time. And Tandra Price, one of the superstars of the Black Business Olympics. William Jackson and his wife, Aida Jackson, who both in their greatness shared the metaverse for us. Andrea Adams, who was a moderator, want to thank her also. There was a lady who was here who was, as we call, the $1 million grant writer. And that was Dr. Barbara Wright. Grant McGaugh from Omaha, yes, indeed, moderated, spoke on his company several times, sharing with you life-changing conversations. Want to thank Reverend Dwayne Kumina. Want to thank a guy by the name of Sidney Wormsby who talked about leadership, and that leadership still rings in my mind right now. Want to thank again Dr. LaToya Smalls. You know, sometimes I would say people's name twice because they've done something magnificent. Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, thank you again. Virgil Thornton, who talked about leadership this morning. Want to also thank our chairman of the board, but I don't want to forget a young lady by the name of Dr. Erica Muhammad. And Her Royal Highness was here. Duchess Winford Guitar God. Yes, indeed, I probably hatched that name, but I did the best I could, Duchess. And then, of course, Enolia Forte, who brought her here to talk about Africa. Of course, as we get down to the nitty-gritty and saying thank you, thank you, thank you, I'm sure I'm going to miss somebody. But hold it to my heart, not to my head, because you know what happens with your head. Sometimes you can't remember everything. Want to thank a young lady who just been spectacular, Eartha Watts Hicks. And I want everybody's prayers to go out to Eartha as she get ready to go on another journey that she needs prayer for. Shay Brown, the salesman extraordinaire. And then there was a young man that really did a great job, Javon Martin. And we had a legend here. We had an absolute legend, even though everybody was a legend. Everybody was historical. We had a gentleman here by the name of Jerry Roebuck. I just want to take a moment and talk about Jerry Roebuck. Jerry Roebuck was the man who started Black Expo USA and did 16 cities across the United States of America. A young man, or a man, who allowed me to be a part of his organization after the third event that I did, after they saw the numbers that I was bringing. Had a chance to go to the Jacob Javits Center in New York City and watch his show, which did 100,000 people 4 days in a row with over 1,000 business owners. He took those 1,000 business owners across the nation, LA, San Francisco, New York, Philly, Washington, D.C., Norfolk, Virginia, Miami, all over the country. I want to thank him personally for what he was doing was what I was watching, and he allowed me to learn on the job how to do the Black Business Expo right here in Durham with the tutelage of my main guy, rest his soul, Bill Cherry. Want to thank Merlin Clark for her outstanding participation as she talked about Generation X versus Generation Z. Want to thank Marquise Hicks as she was just fantastic. And as we move on, want to definitely thank Abdul Dwele Muhammad, you know, as he talked about Black businesses in the future out of Africa. As you've seen the videos, and many of the videos were either made by Lotus Richey, or the main video lady for us was Farron, I'm going to give her a whole name, Lopez, and she did an outstanding job. When we had a guy who dropped in by the name of Kelvin McNamore, who really gave some life-changing statements. And then, of course, the beautiful lady by the name of Ramona Rogers. Great job. And then, of course, a lady by the name of Sunny Waterhouse was here definitely. She did an outstanding job as she was on a panel with Nurse Blue. Spiritual Teak was here all the way from the UK. And who would forget Dr. Tandra Price? Taria Hodge, who talked about AI. And my great friend, I didn't say good, my great friend, Eunice Kamara, all the way from London, as he continues to put speakers on this platform. And you got to talk about Wade Randolph, who again showed up, and showed out. I want you to think for a minute, what did you get out of this week? If you don't know what you got out of this week, go back. Go back and look at it one more time. We put it on social media so you can see it over and over again. This is a university. Did you get your tassel? Did you get your diploma? Want to thank Helen Hicks, who was one of our moderators. And the moderators are the ones that really made it go. Tanya Wise, Eartha Watts Hits, Enola Forte, of course, Andrea Adams. They really made it happen. They made it happen. Grant McGall, Marie Bond from the UK. They really made it happen. Want to thank them. But I also want to ask you, as you stumbled onto this showcase, as you may have wondered, what is our why? Our why is to change the epidemic of our kids committing suicide with the mindset that the only thing they can do to be wealthy and happy in America today or all over the world is to be an athlete, singer, dancer, stripper. As my mother say, don't say stripper, son, say exotic dancer. Or to be a criminal. To change their minds for them to see Black people in business. To provide scholarships for these kids to do something with their lives that's going to change the world. Think about it for a moment. All these businesses spoke because they wanted to change the lives of our youth, to stop them from committing suicide, 1 in 1,000. When you think about our kids being number one in something, we want them to be number one in business, in prosperity, and in happiness. And how do you get to happiness? Where many people live in the past, and that's called regret, where they're looking at what I shoulda, coulda, woulda did. And then other people live in anxiety, which means they're thinking about the future, what may happen, what could happen, what might happen. But then there's a few of us who live in the today. And today is happiness when you know your name, when you know you have an opportunity, when you can change somebody's life, when you can do something right now that will help somebody build a better tomorrow. Now, my message to the Black business community is this. You've watched 7 days of this. But more importantly, you have really watched almost 4 years of this. We did the first one when the pandemic hit. We did 4 the next year. We did 6 last year. We're working on 12 this year. So you've seen 4 years of business owners saying that they have something to give, not only to our young people, but to the world. So my question is this to everybody. What are you going to do? We ask for donation for these kids. We ask for computers for these kids. But what we need more than computers and money is for us as business owners to reach out to young people across the world and ask them, how can I serve? How can I serve them? Because they are the future. If you're in business and your business is structured for customers that are 30 and 40 years old, 10 years from now, you're going to be out of business. AI is not going to put you out of business. What's going to put you out of business is your customer. And the question I have for you, do you know your customer? Do you understand your customer? Do you understand your gray print, which is your subconscious mind that's looking for business, that's looking for happiness, that's looking for joy all the time by the thoughts that you have inside? Do you know your red print, that is how you show up, who you are? And your red print sometimes is what we call fear and sabotage. But more importantly, your red print is who you are. And if you're a business owner and you don't know your industry, or what I call your blueprint, and what is your blueprint of your business? Are you doing a business as a hustlepreneur, an iPreneur? What type of business are you doing? If you don't know your industry, then you don't know your business. That's just the way it is. So what is your blueprint? Who is the 1, 2, or 3 top businesses in the world that's doing what you're doing? Look at their blueprint. Stop saying, I want to do it my way, because the I want to do it my way is what I call a 10-year window of business disaster, of going over and making mistakes that have already been ironed out by the top companies and top companies in the world. If you want to be a billionaire company, study a billionaire company. And then, of course, the green print. After you study the industry, you see your blueprint. How do you make your money from that? What is the green print that earns you money from your blueprint? We've had so many business owners to talk about strategy. Think about that for a moment. And then, of course, as we look at your black print, which is wealth management, retirement, and exit strategy. Do you have an exit strategy? Why don't you have wealth management on your mind? I'll tell you why. Because you're not thinking about the future today. If you thought about the future today, then you would be happy every day. So people, as I start to move down to the end of what I wanted to say, because, you know, this is the state of black business right now. That's what this is, the state of black business. Sunday is the future, the state is the future, it's the state of black business. It's the state, it's the state. Where is black business? When I say I am black business, from the moment I wake to the moment I sleep, that I am black business, I want you to be black business. I want you to think about what you saw all week, and I want you to make a change and think about the young people that you can impact right now. Not tomorrow, right now. Find our young people on the planet and serve. I know many people say, well, I'm not getting nothing out of that. I don't get nothing for serving. I don't get nothing for helping somebody. That's your problem. Because when you serve, you begin to earn history. And what is better? To live on a planet where you're born and you have a dash and you die and all your dreams dissipate into the one place where many, many dreams are, and that's the cemetery. We can talk about the money. We can talk about the Black Wall Streets. We can talk about all these things all over the world. But the one thing that we can do as a group, and that is to not only support each other, we can buy from each other. We can support each other. And you've heard the myth that Black people can't work together. But guess what? If you were here all week, you saw Black people working together for 7 days, 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night, sharing their expertise, their ability, their supreme confidence. They share with us everything. They share with us their life. So what are you going to share with us? Now, for people out there who want to speak on the platform, you may give us a call at 919-308-9090, or you can actually go to bbxspeakers1@gmail and apply to have your company showcased. But don't sit back and relax and not share with the world the greatness that you are. And with that being said, I'm going to bring the young man back up, and we're going to get out of here. As I'm smiling because I love every moment of this week, as I saw so many great people come before us and talk about business.
Go look at that carpet. Hey, Dr. Kelly, amazing shows. Amazing.
Well, one of the things that we have is a standard. And sometimes people don't see a standard. Sometimes people let a standard slide and it catches people off guard.
Right.
So as we continue to build, just remember that the standard is what gets us to the next level. Not the how I feel. That doesn't get us to the next level. Being prepared always get us where we're going. Right. And many times, instead of being prepared, we just let things go. That's not the best way to do business. That's not the best way to do anything. So just remember, as you look at this whole week, that the standard that we set is a standard of excellence from everybody, not from some people, but from everybody.
Beautifully stated. This has been an inspirational week. And if you're out there watching and seeing, if you feel like wherever you're located, you get depressed because you don't see enough business people, you don't see enough of this excellence, this is the clearinghouse right here to get inspired, to get quality information from the people that come on, and to launch you into success. These are your mentors. This is your template. This is what you can grow by. And so the Black Business Network is an extraordinary thing. Dr. Kelly humbly doesn't like to take total credit. This is his baby, but it's for everybody. And what that means is when you come in, he wants you to take over and bring in what you're doing, and he wants to share with what you're doing to the world. And we've got to make these kinds of things happen, and we can't keep looking at the same old narrative of what we see. We're going to change the conversation.
And of course, I want people to lead today and lead tonight with what I said earlier. You are playing the game of energy and time.
That's right.
I want you to think about what you put your energy in is going to give you the greatest of time on this planet. Ask yourself, what did you learn? But more importantly, what did you do after you learned it? And I can ask the question, where do we go from here? As I said, some people play the finite game, some people play the infinite game. we're playing the infinite game.
That's right.
And by utilizing our energy and time, we will get to 300 over 300 days of Black businesses talking about Black business across the world. And with that being said, you know, we talked about having a great time. I want to let everybody know that I had a wonderful time. And to each and every one, and to you, Charles, thank you for being the guy that you've been to, you know, sail the ship on in as a captain of the last 5 hours. Thank you again. And as we say, genius is coming.
I'll see you on the other side.
I'll see you on the other side.
You are in the right place at the right time. The Black Business Network opens again for its Black Business Olympics, a 24/7 broadcast on business, strategies, global branding, social media marketing, finance, advertisement, and much, much more. Featuring the top, most powerful entrepreneurs and speakers and thought leaders from all around the world as they gather together for this phenomenal event. Join the Black Business Network streaming live into the metaverse, STEM City, USA, Black Multiverse, Pod TV, Roku, Hulu, iHeartRadio, Apple TV, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Google Podcasts, Facebook, LinkedIn, IBM TV, Spotify, and Twitch. Tune in today and be a part of this amazing movement. The Black Business Olympics welcomes you.
The Black Business Expo is changing my life. This year, they are giving away laptops and even $5,000 in cash to students just like me. I'm Alexis, and I want to go to college to fulfill my dream.
Did you know that approximately 333.34 million businesses exist today, according to a report from 2021? And you may be one of those businesses, or maybe you're not in the business market yet, but you're aspiring to be a business owner. Well, guess what? You're in the right place at the right time. Because let's face it, everything is about timing and opportunity. Hi, my name is Dr. Lotus Richey, and I'm the CEO and founder of the Lotus Richey Coaching and Consulting LLC, along with the Lotus Richey Ignite Show. 15 minutes of success with Dr. Lotus Richey, as well as books to boom your business and bring who you are. And today, I want to bring this amazing message to you about the Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympics. See, the Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympics is designed to help people just like you, that's right, that look like me, to take their business to the next level. Not just in your front yard or your backyard, but globally. The Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics is designed not to just help you survive, but to help you thrive. So join us today as we come together with businesses all around the world to support our students, our children, our young teens, our young entrepreneurs. What we do is we come together to help raise funds for students who are aspiring to be business entrepreneurs, who are aspiring and who are thriving in college. We endow them with a wonderful opportunity to gain scholarship of either a laptop or several thousands of dollars. And we invite you to help be a contributor to this amazing opportunity
to help someone that looks just like you. So join us today at our website and let us connect with you and help you ignite and take flight in every area of your life on the Black Business Network and the Black Business Olympics. I'll see you on the other side.